little bit of crooked, but we're kind of live. My tripod broke, so I got this new cheap tripod. Well, not new, it's an old one. I'm trying to use that instead of the other one because it kind of, whenever you're trying to go like this up and down with the phone, it'll stay straight up and down. But if you try to go too far forward, it likes to fall off, and I didn't want that to happen. So going with this cheaper version today. Starting a little bit later than I normally do. Orda, what's going on? How you doing? I just got done cleaning up the alien spawn. I think that looks pretty good. Got the copper spawn here, alien spawn. I need to take a brush or something to this bad boy and make it look shiny. I thought about trying to antique. I've never antiqued copper before, but I'm thinking about trying it with this one. Because, man, this thing pops so much better, like especially this one when it's antiqued. So I think I might antique both of these. And the praying hands, I got number 7, and we all know 7's going to want that. So I'm going to make a number 8 too. So if there's anybody else that wants to get a praying hands, if you're not worried about the number, I'm going to make another one. So I'll have 7 and 8 at the next auction. Which, by the way, the next auction is going to be next Friday because there's no way I'm going to have enough ready or have everything that I want to do ready by tomorrow. So next Friday is it. I have to do it next Friday no matter what. So guarantee that there will be an auction on this channel Friday. 7 or 8, one of those two. I don't know exactly what time yet. We'll see what happens. I don't have a whole lot of pours. I'm running kind of low on silver anyway. I've been melting down a lot of my rounds. But, yeah, anyway. Appreciate you guys coming in. Order Bullion, Vegas Stacker. What's up, Vegas Stacker? Bellows Forge, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you as well. David Carlisle, what's happening? How you doing? Appreciate you guys stopping in. By the way, I have posted a couple videos recently and a bunch of shorts, which is basically me just showing all the pours that people have bought from the last auction. I'm trying to put those out, but I'm trying to do it to where it's not too many each day. So I'm not trying to do more than like 2 or 3 videos a day because YouTube they don't really push it anyway if you have too many. So, but also I know that it's hard to get people to watch all the videos if you post a bunch of videos. It's hard enough just to watch one video from everybody that you like to watch. So, Silver Spurs, what's going on? How you doing? Rock on. Oh, here's another thing that for Thanksgiving this year, I saved the wishbone. Do you guys think that'd be cool to do in silver? Or I could do it in copper. I cleaned it up the other day. I don't like how they have this little divot on the side. I mean, that's how they're supposed to be. That's how it is, but I was thinking about maybe doing that. And then people keep asking about the anvil. The anvil. Whoa, dude. It's not a hammer. The gavel. I want to do another gavel. So yeah, because I do have a round that's already done. This is a 2-piece set. So you have the gavel and then you have the thing to tap it on if you want to have fun. For anybody out there that does auctions, I'll use it through the auction, and at the end of the night, I'll auction it off. And I think this will be number 4 or number 5. I'm not sure. Probably number 4. It's a hard one to do because it's round, and I always tend to get a lot of flashing around it. So it's a whole lot of filing to get everything down, but we're gonna get there. So this is a new piece. I just made this. So this is a thing that goes on your crock. My daughter had like a bunch of different things that she could stick into her Crocs in the holes. And so I cut the hole or the thing off that the hole that holds it in, that goes into the hole. So I cut that off and super glued it to this copper round. And so talk about high relief. So we're going to have the peace sign. I might try to knock this out too by the next auction. If you guys are into it, do you like this sort of thing? Let me know. I have had somebody ask me about a peace sign, but I think they wanted more of an actual peace sign. But if anybody's got any of my early stickers, I used to sign the back, and I would put a little peace sign on it, which was like a stick figure peace sign. Nobody ever knew what it was. It was funny because I didn't really tell people. Everybody just always wondered what it was. But I wish I had something I'd show you what I'm talking about. I got a piece of mail from somebody. We'll show that today if he comes in. I used to draw it. Okay, this pen does not work. If I had a pen that worked, this would work out a lot better. So it kind of goes with the theme of things I've been doing for a while. Man, this one don't work either. What is happening? Anyway, like I used to, that was like a symbol I would put on things. I've been doing that since I was a kid. And it's just a peace sign, but a stick figure peace sign. Just some goofy stuff I do. But anyway, so this is kind of that, but is an actual hand. But let me know if you guys like that. That might be probably 2 ounces. Let me back up here. Rhonda, big hugs and love to you. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're feeling better. Vegas Stecker says, have you ever tried a Lego? A Lego guy? No. I did have one at one point, but I don't know what happened to it. I haven't tried that before. I've seen people do it. But I don't really have any Lego guys. I did have that one at one point, and it vanished, and now I don't have any. I'm pretty sure you could buy them pretty much anywhere, but, you know. And the blocks, I've always wanted to do the blocks. I do have some Lego blocks, and I was going to try to make those. But you know how they're hollow on the bottom. And I would want to do it so that they can actually stack. But it would also be cool just to do one that's maybe flat on the bottom and just stamp it on the bottom. I don't know. I have always wanted to do a Lego, though. Silver Spur says, cool one. Appreciate you. Whoever made that clock did awesome. Hey, do you hear the clock ticking? Right before I went live, I was sitting here, and I was like listening to it tick, and I'm like, I wonder if people can hear that. If that drives anybody crazy from hearing it ticking the whole time. I tend to run my mouth too much anyway, so you probably don't hear it anyway. But yes, Rhonda made that. Thank you very much, Rhonda. It was her first time ever doing wood burning. And speaking of crafting, let me show you. I think I might start doing a thing. I might go live and do like crafts with Cap or something like that, because I like to do little crafts. Mostly channel type of crafts. Things I can give away, or, you know, buck and go in an auction, see what happens. You never know. But I have this thing that I've been working on for a few hours, actually. Now, everybody likes the boxes. Everybody has some kind of box that they put their silver in, right? So I picked this up, and I didn't paint it. It's actually like they're markers. But it's a little box you could put your silver in. I know that's kind of going to be geared more to the ladies out there. But these are what I was using. You got to be careful, because the wood grain, sometimes it will kind of make it run over a little bit. But I'm still I'm so indecisive. I don't know what to do with the background. And then there's this little thing here, which I have no idea what that is. It doesn't match any of the other stuff. So I don't know what color to make that. And then I was thinking, should I leave the background wood? Because this is wood around the edge, and I'm not going to do that. So I do think it kind of looks good like this. But I could also do black or gray in every spot. That looks like I missed a little spot right there. Let me do that while I'm thinking about it. Crap, I lost it. Oh. But you guys like that sort of thing? It's nothing crazy. It's just a place to put your silver. I mean, this is literally something I got from the dollar store for $5. So it's not the greatest. And I have a lot of woodworking tools, and what I'm thinking about doing is making boxes like this, but with better hinges, better latches, and all that kind of stuff. I think that'd be cool. I like those ones that where it's like a hook, and you kind of pop it up and then open it. Those are cool. But I'm always trying to craft something. Wait, what'd you say, Rhonda? Thank you, Bill. It's not a good day for me. Oh, I'm sorry, Rhonda. Well, I appreciate you just being here for a minute. It does mean a lot to me that you show up, even if you got to go. I totally understand, so don't feel like you have to be here, but I do appreciate you. How much for the clock, man? I'd probably sell the clock if somebody offered me $1,000. Other than that, it's staying right here. I mean, I got to be honest. $1,000, I probably would let it go. But $950, nah, nope, means more to me. But yeah, I'll definitely. I pray for you, Rhonda. I pray for you pretty often. So I will definitely do it again today. I'm not the type of person that'll like do it on a live stream because I always feel kind of weird about that. But let's everybody pray for Rhonda. She deserves it. So speaking about sending something with a battery in it, right? 3D Woodworks in one of my auctions, because I had a few of these drones. I had like 4 of them, and I'm like, I haven't even used the one, so I might as well try to let go of 1 or 2 of these, right? So I put one in the auction. 3D Woodworks bought it. Well, I couldn't find the battery for it when I went to ship it, and I'm searching all over the house, man. I'm going crazy, like I could not find it anywhere. And I was talking to, I don't know if she wants me to tell, but I was talking to somebody, and she had told me to say this thing out loud, like saint something, help me find my stuff. For lack of better words, I really don't remember what it was. But I said it out loud, and when I went into the house, after searching for 2 hours, I could not find these drones because I had 3 more of them, and I couldn't find them. And went right into the house and found it within a minute. I was like, well, that definitely worked. Jim Thompson, what's going on? Appreciate you stopping in. But anyway, so I sent that out, and this was a while ago. He just now told me the other day, he was like, hey, you know, I never got the battery for the drone. And I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. I was like, how did that not end up getting in that box? I've, like, all the stuff I've shipped out, I've never had that happen. And I specifically was looking for this thing for like 2 hours. And sure enough, it didn't go into the box. It was in one of the cases I had. One was in the drone and one was in the box. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I owe him a battery. Sorry about that, 3D. If you end up watching this back, sometimes he'll watch this back and let it play if he can't make it. So, sorry. He is basically, he is, well, a really good friend, but definitely a supporter of the channel. Check him out, 3D Woodworks. There's his, he makes rings, coin rings. But he is such a good guy. He actually sent me a furnace, for those that might not know about that. I still need to post that video. I made a bunch of videos kind of like unboxing it and doing the first pour. And then I sent him the pour that I was doing for him, and I didn't take a video of it. So the only video I have is in a short. But I do have some pictures, so I need to try to figure that out and edit all that together. I dread editing, especially when you have a bunch of stuff. This thing keeps turning, man. I do not like this tripod. Yep, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. I appreciate that, Vegas. Doctor Who, what's going on? Jim Thompson says, just curious, what's the biggest AR you can pour? That's the flask. That's the size of the flask. So what do you guys think? Should I put this in the auction just see what happens? Put it up for what I paid for it, and then the time involved will be up to you guys. If anybody likes that sort of thing. I got some other ones that have skulls on it, but it's a smaller box and it has skulls on it. It'd be cool for like putting gold in. I got a bunch of cigar boxes too that I've never done anything with. A lot of people use cigar boxes. JT Coin Rings. Never heard of him. I've heard of him. JT Coin Rings. That sounds familiar. It's been a while. Is he still around? He made you a t-shirt? That's cool. I had somebody make me a hat. They gave me a t-shirt, but it was a small. And I was like, man, I don't even think this would fit on the wife, much less me. It was tiny. But it said like Boy and Airs Club or something. It didn't have my name on it. But he also sent me a hat. What's his name? The Silver Taco. Anybody remember him? He had made a hat for me. He was getting into like printing and all that. I think I do have a couple shirts. I think I might have either one or two left with the blue sticker that I have. Man, it's been so cold out. It's been hard to get stuff done, man. It's either cold, like it was 19 degrees yesterday, or snowing. And I've had a foot of snow twice now. It all melted. There's a little bit left out there, but not much. Oh, and I'm going to do my first gold piece. I was going to do that in a live stream, and I was thinking about maybe doing it today because I have 5 grams of gold in shot, and I need to do something with it because I can't afford to really hold on to it. I really need to sell it. So I'm going to pour either a round or a bar, probably a round, and then have that for the next auction too. But it's 5 grams. It's going to be kind of expensive. I mean, gold is, I didn't look at it today, but it's getting pretty close to $3,000 an ounce. That's crazy. When I was buying, I was buying it for 19, and that was with the premium. I kept telling everybody back then, you need to get into gold, you need to get into gold. And now everybody's regretting it. Same thing with Bitcoin. You have your pennies in the cigar box. Hey, that's a good idea. I have a bunch of pennies in just like a regular carpenter pencil box, and I've got a bunch of those. That's a pretty good idea. I should probably do that. I got a cigar box. There's a I don't know if anybody knows cigars, but Acid makes a pretty good cigar. I like it. But I've never bought a box of them. I've just bought individuals here and there. But I was at this store, and he sold me some of his old boxes. And one of the boxes still has like the plastic in it where it's like, you know, half circles so that the cigars would rest right in it. Well, if you take rolls of quarters or dimes or whatever, you can fit 2 in each one. And I think there's 10 of them. So you could fit 20 rolls of quarters or dimes into this box. That would be a pretty cool way to store. I wish I had that many. I might have that with pennies, but with my quarters, I have square capsules or square tubes. The mass is back in the lung. I'm sorry to hear that. I'll definitely be praying for you. That sucks. But if there's anybody that is strong, it's you. I think I'll dip after they find all the gold in Fort Knox. Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think it's there? There's people that say it's definitely there. And then there's people that say it's not there. There was a documentary that was put out, and I think the early 90s, and that's what they were talking about, that they didn't think that it was there anymore. And there's other people talking about how it's been over in London or something, and they've been shipping it all over in planes. And it's kind of funny too that all of a sudden that place is flooded. At least that's what I heard. I know Kentucky is flooded. That's where Fort Knox is, right? Kentucky? Or is it another state? I don't know. But somebody was saying that it was all flooded over there, and so they can't really get in there yet. Were they buying time, doing some cloud seeding? Who knows? Speculation, YouTube, speculation. Joking. Those were jokes. Ha ha ha. God is great, will always take care of me. Amen. What are you pouring today? I think I'm going to try to do this gavel because I have had a couple people ask if I'm still doing the gavel. And this might be the last auction I do for a while. So, yeah, Kentucky. Okay. So I wanted to do one more gavel. The bars of gold Knox should be 400-ounce bars. That weigh 27.5 pounds each. Man, could you imagine? Even just seeing and holding one would be amazing. I've never even held a kilo. So the biggest I've ever held in gold was about 6 ounces. Kentucky and Tennessee flooded, yeah. You can see here in our ski resort. Participate in it. Excuse me. Well, I guess we should try to get to pouring something, huh? Could try to do this. Kind of want to make sure that glue dries, but it is super glue. That should be fine. And with this one, I guess I'm going to have to take it in through the back, which I hate doing that because you always get a little circle there. But I tend to try to stamp a CC on that, so it kind of looks like, you know, it's not just a hole. Not a hole, but you know what I'm saying. This one is a little bit, it's pretty flat, so hopefully it would be okay and I could just, you know, sand it so where the whole thing's flat again, but I don't like to sit there and sand a bunch of stuff down just because there's a little circle here. So I'll stamp the CC on it and then stamp everything else around it. And with this piece for stamping, I would definitely want to use the pitch bowl because I can heat it up and get this whole part right here into the pitch. And then that way when I stamp it, the whole thing will be flat. I don't have to worry about anything bending or anything. Although, I'm not sure this one will bend. There's some smaller ones, some half-ouncers, that they bend when you stamp them. Now, I almost wish, now that I'm looking at this, maybe I should have did it with a half-ounce, because the half-ounce probably would have been exactly what that is. I don't know. I like this, though. I think it's cool. We'll see. And this was last week. I tried to do that. I just posted a video, the good, the bad, and the ugly. This was the bad, because you can see my finger right there on that wing. It just didn't fill out right. I think I need to go a little bit bigger on the sprue right here. First one I did, this is my first silver sand cast ever. It worked out perfect. I was like, man, this pouring stuff, this is going to be awesome. And then I tried one, it failed. Tried another, it failed. And both of the wings look like this. Like it barely poured even out to the edge here at the top. You couldn't read the numbers down here because it's holding the bicentennial dates, 1976 and 1776. But so yeah, this one's got to be redone. This was the original. This was a little, it was a pin. I got it at a consignment shop. So I took the pin part off and then glued the back here so that it wasn't indented real good, so it'd be a little bit heavier. Because the first one I did was really light. It was like under half an ounce, I think. Or right around a half an ounce. $1,176,160 spot value. Wow. Well, if it's not there, I think we're going to have some pretty big issues. Some people say that the dollar will crash. I don't know about that because we're not on a gold standard anyway. But if we don't have all that gold, we have like the world's largest credit, you know? So people are going to think, how are you going to pay us back? And if you don't have that gold, you know what I mean? That's kind of my opinion about it, but I don't know enough to really talk about it too much. Need to do a little research before I start talking about that. This was what I put in that video too, the scarab. It has those a couple little spots there that didn't fill in all the way, but it's pretty good. I like it. You know what's weird about this iPhone 16? I don't know if anybody else has an iPhone 16, but when I have it this way, it doesn't seem to do it vertical. But when I have it horizontal and trying to make a video, if I zoom in and then zoom back out, everything goes over to one side and then shifts back. It looks so dumb. I don't know why it's doing that. But anyway, why don't we get to trying to get something ready here. Also, if anybody wants any CC poker chips, I haven't done that. I sold the last ones in the last auction and I didn't make any more because I was only going to do 10, then I got to 11 anyway. So if anybody's interested, I can make another one. But everything goes into the auctions. So when I try to, what I'm going to do with this, because this is kind of a hard one to get. If I put the duff clay in here, duff clay is really hard. And so if I get it in there and I press it down really hard, it's almost impossible even to push this halfway down. So what I'm going to do is put it in there. I'll roll it a little bit. I'll pack it in decent. Then I'll put this in and then put it on the top. And then I'll flip the whole thing over, put more sand on that side, and then roll it really hard. So it will be getting rolled hard from both sides, but I can't do it until this is in there. So I'm going to try that today. I haven't done that before. I did it once kind of halfway, so I'm going to see if maybe I got a little bit better way of doing that today. That's another reason why I wanted to do this. Petrobond is easy to push down into. It's really easy to work with, but the details aren't as good. You always have some kind of pitting going on where everything isn't completely smooth like it should be. I haven't had the greatest luck with Dove Clay, or with Petrobond. So I started using Dove Clay, but it's just really hard to press into because it can pack so good. It's kind of like with Dove Clay, whenever you have the two pieces and you pull it apart, it's always exactly the way it was. Whenever you put that baby powder on it, it's completely smooth. But when I use Petrobond, a little bit that's supposed to break off or stay flat will break off. And so it's just kind of a pain in the butt. So I quit using it, but I would like to figure it out to work like this stuff does, but that might not be possible. But we're going to attempt to do a little something today. One time I tried to just use that block of wood I put in here and pressed down on it, and then I didn't roll it at all, and that didn't really work all that great. Sometimes I'll take a block of wood, try to get everything even, make sure all the corners are filling in. So I just pressed it with my hand last time and that just wasn't quite enough. So I am going to roll this, but not too hard. Just enough to where everything gets smooth. Hopefully this will work. That's pretty smooth. I think I'm going to leave it at that and then try to press it down in there. The problem is if it's not pressed down hard enough, when you go to press the piece in there, if you have spots that are kind of close together, like this is kind of more of an L, but there's two little indents right there. It'll push it down, and then you're trying to put too much sand on one side, if that makes any sense. I might not have said that to make sense, but so I'm thinking if I do that, it'll work, but then again, it could not work too because of that. So I'm one of those people that has to do something 8 times before I truly learn. There's a freaking cat hair in it. Are you serious? I just cleaned this thing off. Get out of there. No, that didn't work. I just ripped the whole damn thumb off. You know what? I'm going to try cornstarch today. I haven't done that yet. Let's learn today. Let's do something new. I was told that cornstarch actually works better. But I guess that would be for Petrobond anyway. Actually, you know what? I'll use the cornstarch when I do Petrobond next time. Because this baby powder works pretty good. And I'm not gonna do it here because I don't like it to get back into the sand. But I'm gonna take it off camera and it's just a makeup little brush for your cheeks, I guess. And I'm just gonna make sure it's all in there on the whole thing. David Carlisle, if you're still here, I appreciate you stopping by the TikTok. Oh, there you are. Man, TikTok is hard, dude. I didn't post for a while. And then I've been trying to post all these shorts from what I have on there. I have like hundreds of views. Usually it's around 100 views. Some of them have more. But I think all of them have either 50 or over 100. It's kind of weird. But nobody's liking them. I used to get like 70 or 80 likes. And now, like, nobody is coming through. It's like they're pushing it out to people that don't care. It's hard out here. YouTube as well, especially for like regular videos. They do push my lives, but a lot of time it's just kind of people popping in and rolling out. Just gotta keep working at it. Make sure this is centered as possible. This is a 3D print, but it's not PLA. And even it's still hard. So I want to be careful because I don't want to break it. The one that I did with PLA, Michael printed this and then I printed the PLA one, and I ended up breaking the handle off. But I can make another one, but I like to use this one. But I don't have a way to print these. See, like I was saying, how it'll push down, so it's not, right here, it's not flat anymore. It's kind of on an angle down. Why don't I get you guys a little bit better picture here? Cheap ass eye. Come on. Cranky, what's going on? How you doing? It's 34 degrees here now. Yeah, it might be about that today here. It's definitely warmer today than it was yesterday, that's for sure. It's 19 degrees when I woke up yesterday when I went outside. You don't do TikTok or you like them. Hey, stop by the YouTube. Stop by the shorts. Leave a comment. Hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. It's hard. Even those are one like. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. $26 degrees. Man, it must be nice. Nice and cold where you're at. What'd you say, Les? Did I have that backwards? I do that sometimes. Man, that is so far away. And it looks like there's a pretty good gap right there. That's why I always, down here, there's always going to be a little bit of cleanup. Well, a lot of cleanup. It happens every time with these round pieces. So I don't want to go too far, but I want to get it in there too. And I want everything to be tight. And then so what I'll do is I'll put the top one, put sand on it, clear it off, and then I'm going to flip the whole thing over, put a little bit more sand on top, and then roll it really hard again. That way everything's packed from both sides really good. Although this is a little bit better than I thought it would, which the one time, like I said, I didn't do it enough. So this, I feel like, should be perfect, but at the same time, it's still, there's a little bit of a gap. Man, I don't want to go too far. But yeah, that's how we grow. I know it's hard. It's hard for me to get to other channels and leave comments all the time. I try, but when I look at all the bells I have wrong. There's just so many. It's like overwhelming. I want to do like Plumber used to do. He would go through, and he would have the bell rung for certain people, and then he would switch it all out every month, so that he ended up getting to everybody eventually. Because sometimes you never see when somebody puts out a video. All right, I'm just gonna give it a try. See what happens. It's either gonna work or it's not, right? That glove I was using was a 7 mil. And they've always been good, but I got these other ones that are 4 mil. So these are a little bit thinner. And to be honest, this stuff doesn't stick like Petrobond. Petrobond is really bad. Like, it'll be all over your hands. That's why I wear gloves, because it's so sticky. This isn't quite as bad, but I'm just kind of used to it now, so I always do it. I feel like I'm gonna need a new sifter soon. This thing is kind of bunching up like crazy up here. But you gotta hold on to it. The other one I have was an expensive one with a rubberized handle, and that thing broke. Like, I don't know, it couldn't have been more than a couple weeks after I got it. So I started going to the dollar store and buying these again. I broke a few of these too. But I'm doing this because I want to trying to get details with it. If you put a bunch of blocks, like you can try to break this up, but see if it's like big blocks like that and it's on the piece. That's why I put it through the sifter. That way everything, it gets a good coat on it, and I know all the sand will end up touching each other, like every little piece. You just need a base layer, and then you can go to the bigger pieces afterwards. Sometimes I'll even take a hammer with this. Shoot, that's the Petrobond side. Oops. Dang it. See how sticky it is? I hate it. Yeah, I used to put all my videos in the beginning and the end. Please like and subscribe, try to remind people. But I quit doing that. I was like, if they want to do it, they'll do it. I don't want to feel like I'm begging. So I don't even like to talk about it, but you know, we're trying to grow. And I'm always honest with everything I'm feeling and thinking. Kind of pride myself on that. Good, the bad, and the ugly. Sometimes I gotta call myself out. It's happened. Some people will hammer it, some people will roll it. Sometimes I'll do both. That's annoying, isn't it? I really want to make sure it's got a good connection there. It's getting in all the cracks around the whole thing. That way too, when you take the piece out, it's less likely to pull sand. It happens a lot. Sometimes I try to pull things out or use pieces that way, like if you do pull the piece out, sometimes the sand will pop out a little bit, but then you can just press it back down. Sometimes it'll come out with the piece, and then you got to do surgery and, like, you know, meticulously like put it right back into the same spot and press it down and get it on both angles from both sides. I have done that many times. Like I said, I'm going to take it and flip it over because I didn't press too hard on this side. I'll put a little bit more on the top. And hammer and roll that. And then hopefully it'll be nice and tight from both angles, from both sides, from both ends. Man, something cracked all the way up my arm. Let's go. Always cat hair. You know, I didn't want to get cats, and I fought it for years. And I finally said, fine, you can get a cat. Now there's 3 cats and a dog. I love the dog, though. I love the cats, too. My daughter named her cat Princess. She got out the house one day, and we were trying to find her. And it's kind of funny when there's a 6'1", 210-pound man running around yelling, "Princess!" She named it Princess. Look at this dude yelling "Princess." Stinky, what's going on? Lee, what's happening? Appreciate you guys stopping in. You always like, oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, some of the other platforms are a little bit harder. But even YouTube seems like it wasn't a whole lot compared to what it used to be. But I was talking, the TikTok is where I used to get great likes on it, and then now there's like 1, sometimes 3 or 4. But I posted everything within a few days. Sometimes it takes time. Yeah, Lee's in Maryland too. It was cold yesterday, wasn't it, Lee? Yeah, I was looking the other day, and I have, I think, 74 likes on a live stream. I always get more likes on live streams than anything. That's what I do mostly, so that's what they tend to push. But yeah, I'd like to try to beat that. It'd be cool if we could beat that sometime. Whenever we beat my likes in the live streams, I'll do some kind of giveaway, like a silver quarter or something like that. I think that'd be fun. But we got to get to, I think it's 75, or it was 76, and we need 77. Sucker is definitely in there. Come on. That side looks good. I always like it when it sticks to that side, because then these things stick out and you can kind of bang them and they'll drop out if it's a smaller piece. And like I was saying before, I'll kind of roll up on these. Make sure everything is pressed flat. But see, that's what I was talking about, how it pulls. That usually doesn't happen with Petrobond. I mean, it happens with Petrobond. It usually doesn't happen with Duff Clay. I'm really messing up my words today, guys. Sorry about that. I'm dyslexic, and if you've noticed, I keep saying the wrong word, but it's still a word I'm trying to use in a sentence. I say it first instead of the other word. So with this, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll try to kind of rock it around a little bit. Not trying to make it bigger, but easier to get out. I should be able to pop this out. But if you can move it as you're trying to lift it, but not too much, because you don't want to make this side bigger than that side. So I'm going to try to tap it on this thing. It's coming. Should pop right out now. Should. Come on. This one looks pretty good. I think this will work out. Like it rounded down on this side, but on this side you can see it rounded up. So hopefully everything meets up good and I don't have a whole lot of flashing. But like I said, you can always clean that up. It takes a while trying to get everything, all those little circles, and trying to keep the circle and not filing flat, because you don't want to do that. And then try to get into the little grooves right there. It's not the easiest piece to clean up, but there's also harder ones. I just want to make sure there's no gaps right there. Like when I pulled that out, it didn't pop it out. And I can see it kind of did a little bit, but I think we pressed it down enough. And there is a little bit. I don't know if that's a hole there. I think there was a little bit of a hole there. And that's fine, because all it'll do is fill it in with silver and then I can just file it back down. But that looks good. I'm gonna turn this oven on. Whenever it's cold out, I mean, I do this anyway, but when it's cold out, I definitely want to do it. So I put my oven, I put the oven at 210 degrees, and then I'll pop this in the oven. Once it's ready, I'll pop it in the oven for about 20 minutes, and then I'll start the furnace up, because the furnace takes about 10 minutes, and it will be pouring. I'm gonna do gas today because it's a little bit faster. And I got a lot of stuff I got to get done. I think this is the right size. Now, I almost want to just... No, I probably should do it this way. Trying to use this spot where it tapers, that way it doesn't push into the handle at all. Although if it does go a little bit extra, I can just, you know, it might be good just to do this whole thing and maybe just make it a little bit bigger. Might end up with more flashing doing that, but I would like to be able to make this longer. So I might start doing it that way. That sucks. So now we got to do surgery because it pulled up this whole side a little bit. See how that popped up? You just got to be careful it doesn't pop out, because you can press it back ever so slightly. Man, I got to do some serious surgery here. Well, I'm going to go to this better light. A little bit of it popped out into the round spot That's coming up, that first little area right there. And like I said before, I'd rather push it out and have a little bit extra and then clean it back to where it was. Because if you push the sand in too far, then it's going to be like that. You can't clean that up, so you have to press it back out. Why does this keep happening? It's like too big. I don't have the hands for surgery like I used to. Get a little bit shaky, especially being alive. But that little piece that's sticking out, I've got to get that fixed. I think that'll be all right. That should be fine. So let's. Oh, I'm missing my other scraper. I can use this one. I kind of need the round one. Hold on, I think it's out in the shed. Buddy, your tail's gonna knock that out. Go lay down. Go lay down. Come on. Come on. Go. Go lay down. Good boy. Go. Go lay down. He's like, come on, man. I like porn too. It doesn't matter how many times he's already went to the bathroom. He has got to go out. Every time he hears the door, he has got to go. I got a chocolate lab. What kind of dogs you guys got? If any. Or cats or whatever. And what's the name? My dog's name is Ovi, after Alex Ovechkin, which is the greatest hockey player that ever played the game. That is actually about to surpass Wayne Gretzky at all-time goals. I can't wait for that. I don't know if it'll be next year, but possibly. He might be able to do that by next year. Can't remember where he's at or how many he needs, but he's starting to get a little bit older, so he's probably going to want to retire at some point, but I feel like he's going to beat Gretzky's record and then probably keep going from there a little bit. He might want to put a little bit of a cushion on that. Anybody else watch hockey? It is my favorite sport. I did start watching football a couple years ago. I like the Ravens because that's my home team. But I do root for the Commanders too. And they're finally getting good again. Jaden Daniels is pretty good. I don't know if he's as good as Lamar Jackson, but he's got potential for a rookie. Almost getting to the championship game. I think, didn't they win the first game and then lost? I don't remember. It was brutal cold yesterday. Yeah, man. When I went out earlier, like an hour ago, it didn't feel that bad. But now the wind's kicking and it's getting cold again. Mr. and Mrs. Did I miss somebody? up maybe. Okay. I've been learning a lot about sprue size and placement. It's so important. Yes, it is. I think that's why when I did this, it didn't turn out all the way, because this sprue, now that's the same size I'm doing this one, because that's the size of the handle and I know that that works. But when you got something that's flat like this, and see how flat that the wings are, it's really hard to get everything to fill out right if you don't have a decent amount of silver getting in there quickly. So it's tough for pieces like this. If you can get it in from the back, it's kind of the only way to do it. There's no other way. I wouldn't be able to bring it in from the top unless I did it here and just had it go down and then split. But I don't know if that will work. I've never tried that. But it's very thin. Anything thinner than this, I won't even try really. So I think the last time I got it to work, I made, because I have these sticks that I use, but I have one that's a little bit bigger, and I think that was the one I ended up using the last time. Because I think the sprue hole, when I cut it off, I think I filed it down enough to where I could stamp a CC on it, and this isn't really big enough, so I think that's how I screwed that up. And then sometimes when this does pop out from the other side, what I'll do is I'll scrape it off. Now it should go back into the same place it came from, but I want to make sure everything's going to seat in there nice. Like I said, this happens a lot with Petrobond, but rarely with Duff Clay. I don't know why I did it. Probably because it wasn't pressed down hard, so it didn't compact quite enough. You also want to be careful when you do that none of these pieces get down into the piece, because pieces in the piece. You know what I mean. I feel like this should work. I'm just going to draw a bunch of vent lines. I think that'll work. What do you guys think? Go for it. You have a border collie named Daisy and a Chihuahua blue-heeled mix named Pepper. I had a Chihuahua wiener dog called a Chiweenie, I think is what they call him. That was the dumbest dog. He was scared of everything too. Like if he did something wrong and you try to yell at him for it, he would start pissing on the damn floor. It was ridiculous. Like he would shit and you would try to bring him over and tell him, no, outside, you got to shit outside. And he would start pissing too. And it's like, oh my God. I don't know what happened to that dog, but he was scared of everything all the time. And it wasn't me. My dog shit on the floor yesterday in the basement, man. He hasn't done that in months. And I just picked a little bit up with some toilet paper, and I put it in his nose and made him smell it for a minute. I was like, no, outside. That's how I train the dogs. I don't want a bunch of grooves on this, so I'm going to come straight with it just so it can breathe, but it's not. If I go into the angle, it tends to push that first part out a little bit. I have heard that it's better to go when you do vents, it's better to do an angle and not straight, but I haven't had any issues since I started doing this. That was kind of more for when you were doing like the big and poking holes through. I used to try to do that when I could, but sometimes it's hard. Just gotta do what you can do. I'm doing this so all the gases can escape. Now when you do it bigger, the gases do get out faster. And I almost want to do another one on that other side too. If I get too close, they'll kind of push into each other, and you don't want to do that. Maybe I should have tried to take one down. I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll try it. Come on. And then I'll do this side too. So I'll have a few going out. Shit, I did that in the wrong spot. Not to mention I pushed it. That was a no-no. This is not liking me today. I'm going to do about the same amount that I did on the other one. I really want this to work out. You can never have too many. And what's great about this is that I never have to do cleanup. Every once in a while there might be a little bit of a nipple, but it's not like when you do other pieces and you have like like whole lines will fill in with silver and then go down and out. Sometimes it'll even spill out onto your tray. And since I started cleaning up let me do this one here. It's kind of hard to turn it. I know I was saying something there and kind of forgot what I was talking about. Oh, it won't be like a lot. Like you don't have to snip it off and then file that snip forever. Although I did pick up these and these snip really close. These are nice ones. The other ones I had that you couldn't snip but so close. But this might work out. I might be able to get this handle a little bit longer. This time. And I even do the sprue. Sometimes what I start to do, like where, you know, this part right here, I've seen people where they'll poke holes through even. I don't go that far, but it does work. So I think we're good on this. I'm gonna throw this in the oven, let it get warmed up. Time check. Somebody tell me what time it is. Actually, I might be able to see it on the phone. Never mind, I can see it. Time check. I got a freaking clock sitting right here. 4:10. So 4:30 we'll be ready. Got 14 likes. I appreciate you guys smashing the like button for me. So we're gonna go outside. I'm gonna get set up outside, and we'll do this pour, see what happens. Unless you guys want me to, I probably could get another one done. Well, I can put that in the oven. I might as well wait on that because I do want to do another praying hands. For those that don't know, this is the praying hands. This was a piece that was my grandmother passed away, and we had to go to her house and clean out everything from the apartment. And this was hanging on the wall. This was attached to a cross, and I always wanted to make a copy of it. So I'd had it for like 2 years because she passed away in 2020. Might have even been 3 years at that point. So I drilled the hands off, and then that's the silver one. So this is number 7. And you can even, oh man, you can even tell like where I had to drill it off, and then I put some stuff in there to kind of fill it in a little bit. So I'll actually kind of file that down. Sometimes I just leave it though. It's not that big a deal. This is the side you're looking at anyway. So I do have this little sprue here. This was a little double that I was doing. So I'm probably going to use this. This is probably enough. I do want it to be heavy though. Let's see what this weighs. I'm trying to remember what that weighs. I can't look at my phone right now. 2.9 ounce Troy. Probably enough because I think it's just under an ounce. So yeah, that'll be plenty. That's right. It was 2 ounces altogether, and that was with the piece that you smack the gavel onto. So it's a round that I hammer flat, and this one is actually bigger than all of the rest of them. So this one will probably be 2.3 maybe, 2.2, something like that probably. And then if I can make the handle longer, it would be nice to get to 2.5 ounces. That'd be cool. But yeah, this one will be a little bit more expensive than all the rest of them. I mean, everything's probably going to be a little bit more expensive anyway. You guys know, man, I was giving my pours away pretty much for a while, trying to get my art out there, trying to get people interested, and you know, you got to start somewhere. And so when I first started, I was putting out sand casts for $35 an ounce. $35 an ounce, guys. Like that's crazy. Like Fish got the Statue of Liberty for about that, I think. And that was not an easy one to do. I think both of those sold for that. But spot price back then, when I first started, I guess spot price was probably what, 26? So it wasn't like spot price is now, but I'd like to buy some more shot. Oh shoot, I was just thinking too. I forgot I do have this shot. Could use that if I need to. But I think 2.9, we should have enough. We'll be good to go. So we're gonna go outside in a minute. Get some pouring. Hopefully this thing looks nice when we're done. And then I'm gonna use it in the auction. Every time I sell something, I'll say sold, and I'll smash the gavel, and then at the end of the live stream, I'll auction it off. So if anybody wants one, this is probably going to be the last one. I mean, I might try to do it again in the future, but we'll see. And what I was doing, the reason why I started doing that was because I liked it, so I wanted to have one anyway. Because I do auctions, so I wanted to have a gavel. But I thought it would be cool if everybody that does auctions picked up one from me, and then they could have one and then use it in their auctions. So Spokane has one, and he has his up in his videos pretty often too, so I definitely appreciate that. I don't know if I've seen anybody else use. I don't know if I've seen anybody else like using it. Probably. My brain is My memory sucks. It is not what it used to be. And it wasn't good to begin with. Oh, gotta put a coat on today. Man, it sucks because like all through the summer, right? 90, 100 degrees. Well, it never really got to 100. It was usually 90, 95 degrees. And like when it's the hottest, it would feel like 100, 105. And those days suck when it comes to pouring. Like, it's terrible. It really sucks going out there. And then your silver tends to act a little funny anyway. There's like extra moisture and everything because it's so humid around here. So I didn't like pouring in the summer. And then when fall came, it was like, all right, I was getting all kinds of stuff done, working hard, doing things. And then now it's been so cold, especially when there's a foot of snow on the ground. It's like pouring is like just not something I want to do. Especially when it's that cold. Man, I definitely got to get a new tripod. This whole thing is so crooked. So it's been charging the whole time. We should have plenty of battery for a while. And this is something I was showing earlier. I made some coin boxes. I guess this might be more of like a girly kind of thing. So any of my ladies out there, a little coin box painted by yours truly. But I want to know, should I leave the background? Should I just leave it wood because it kind of matches the wood, or should I do it black? Or gray for that matter. I have black and gray. That's the only two colors I didn't use. And some of these are like multiple. Like this is shaded, the purple shaded in there. And like here, that red is kind of shaded in with these little markers I had. Just trying something different. I'll probably have some knives in the next auction. I got a couple knives that are Damascus that are really nice, blue handle, and things are, I'm pretty sure those are coming. I think I ordered that. And then some stuff that I've had for years that I just need to get rid of. I got so many knives. I have probably over 100 knives. Most of them are trash though, so I'm trying to get rid of the ones that are actually decent that people might like. But anyway, so I don't know how easy this is gonna be. I don't want to mess it up. That's my boy. That's my boy Ovi. Can you speak? Good boy. Good boy. He speaks. You're a good boy. You can't go out though. I can't do that till later. Let me give him a treat for speaking. He also gave me his paw. He fetches like crazy, man. These type of dogs love to fetch. I'm trying to train him to be a bird dog. I didn't goose hunt at all this year. I had a chance to go one day, and she got COVID, and then I felt like I was getting sick the day I was offered to go, and I was like, man, I can't take a chance. I don't want to get you guys sick, so I ended up not going. And that's the only chance I had to go goose hunting this year. Shoot, I really didn't even deer hunt this year much. Actually, I didn't really go at all. I sat out back here, like recording them with my phone and my camera. I got a bunch of video. I'm probably going to post a video soon of just a bunch of video of animals, deer, animals, squirrels. I think I got some fox, just from sitting in the woods and taking videos. I have a Canon 80D, and I didn't do it this year, but last year and the year before, I would always take my camera with me and try to record the hunt because I've always wanted to post a video of a hunt. And I did a short of that one. That was a little 6-pointer. I did a short of that. And then I shot a huge deer that next year, but it was too dark. The camera wouldn't pick it up, so I couldn't video it. Not to mention, he never even came up to the spot. I had to shoot him kind of far away. And then the other time, the one I got last year, that was a 7-point, I think. he had a kind of a messed up rack, but I shot at it, totally missed it because I had these bullets that were bad because it was only 30 yards away. I don't miss even at 80, 100 yards. Like I'm a pretty good shot. I knew something was wrong, so I had a new box. So I got the new box out because when I sighted that gun in, I had this happen. Everything was on, and then all of a sudden it would shoot like a foot and a half to the right or to the left. It did that a couple times. So I thought I threw this box away, not away, but I thought I had that box sitting somewhere else because there was still like 2 left. Well, I used one of them. But so anyway, I go out and I stalk this deer, and he turns around and he's finally walking back up to me. And I usually do broadside shots. I don't usually try to shoot him in the chest, but it was the only shot I had. And sure enough, from further away, shot him right in the heart. So it was definitely the bullet. At least that's what I tell myself. I mean, there's no way I put a bad shot like that, because I almost go into like a meditative state when I'm about to pull the trigger. Like I'm breathing a certain way and trying to just be calm and just squeezing that trigger. And so I don't know when it's going off. It just goes off, right? I just squeeze it as slow as I possibly can and just have it right at the right spot. I'm usually resting on something. I don't take shots that are further than 80 yards, even with a shotgun. With a bow, I won't shoot past like 20, 30 yards. So, I don't want to hurt something. I want to make sure it's done with. Anyway, I just really went off on a tangent there, did I not? Fish, what's going on? But yeah, I would like to get something on video one day. Anyway, we don't have a whole lot of time. We got to get out here and get this furnace going. You need to stay, buddy. You need to stay. I'll bring you out later. Now, when I go out and go around the back of the shed, it's going to think for a minute. So if I lose you guys, all right. If there was an issue, we should be back now. It says I got plenty of signal. Are you guys there? Man, what is going on here? Getting to the point where I can't bring this thing outside. Hello, anybody there? Look at the steam rolling off of that. That's from the moisture. If you're here, can you tell me that you can hear me and that you can see okay? Somebody let me know, please. Every time I come out here, it acts funny for a minute. We're back? Okay, thank you. You see all that? That's moisture coming out of the furnace. That's why I try not to blast it right away. Get all the moisture out, and then I'll blast it up. Starting to roll back. It does that every time, and I always lose everybody. If I start out here, it doesn't seem to do that though. Maybe I need to just start from outside and then go in. Time to blast. have the mold with me because it's in the oven right now, heating up. That way I'm not pouring molten metal into something that's not warm. I got my oven at 210 degrees, and it's been in there for about 20 minutes. That way it'll be nice and hot when I bring it out. We should get all the detail. Water's a little bit frozen. Getting there. It is so cold out here. I think I need to get some new propane tanks because they don't want to seem to go above 3. I have 2 of them that are doing that now. I got 4 tanks. 2 of them are empty now. So we just got a new Blackstone. So we're going to get a new one for that. I made a video putting that together. When I season it, I'm going to finish the video up and then I'll be posting that. We also just got a smoker in, so I'll probably do some smoking videos too, if anybody's into that sort of thing. If you like videos like that, put a little thumbs up emoji down there. Cook some crabs this summer too. Because by far, anybody that's eaten my crabs says that they're the best that they've had. Before I go to grab that out, I'll heat those tools up to get any moisture out of it. That way it doesn't stick to it. If you have any moisture in any of your tools, it'll stick to whatever it is you're trying to use. So when you see me put that in a flame, that's why. Getting close. All right, we're about ready. I'm gonna go get the flask and we're gonna do a pour. It's hot without a freaking face guard on. God, don't let this be the day that I screw up, please. Man, that almost wasn't hot enough. I need to get a new propane tank. That might not turn out all that great. It wasn't even at 3. It was like almost like 2.5. It's always something. Herman, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Looks like it might be all right. Just wasn't quite as hot as I thought it was going to be. Let's not touch that. Even with gloves. Man, there's a lot of flashing, but that's because I made this handle a little bit bigger than I normally do. I mean, it looks good so far. I'm gonna quench it. And then I'm gonna clean it off. I use this plastic one. I used to use a metal one, but it kind of scratches it sometimes. And I really like how this has like a wood grain to it. I don't know if you can see that. It almost looks like wood. And it's a 3D print, which is pretty cool. But definitely flashing. That's because I pressed it down a little bit more. But you still see the grooves from the actual piece, which is cool. But definitely some cleanup. But let's see if it all turned out. So I use this plastic one just in the water. That way it doesn't scratch it at all. But don't try to use it if it's still hot, because it will melt it. I know from experience. Yeah, sometimes I'm not too bright. I don't know if you guys could see when I was pouring it, it wasn't quite liquid like I would like it to be. And I got nervous that maybe this wasn't going to turn out great, but it seems like everything worked out. I feel like all the details are there, and I don't have as much flashing. I got flashing on the handle part, but the rest of it isn't that bad. So this actually worked out really good, surprisingly enough. So I'll use this in the auction as a gavel. And then at the end of the auction, I will auction it off, and anybody else that wants to have a gavel will have a chance at it. And if not, I'll just keep using it. And on the side here, I'll stamp 3/9 fine. Yeah, I think this is good. The way that came out, I really thought it wasn't going to be great, but apparently that part that looked like that ended up being in the sprue and not the piece, so that worked out good. Although I do see something that's not perfect. I might be able to clean that up though. It definitely has all the grains to it. But see this side where it meets right here? See how that looks? And then look at that side. Right here where my thumb is, there's a little bit of weirdness going on there. But I might be able to fix that with the Dremel. We'll see what happens. I mean, it could be worse. But the details of the 3D print makes it look like wood. And it really looks good. I'm definitely proud of this one. Usually there's a bunch of flashing on the top and on the bottom here. There's a little bit on this side, but not like normal. But I usually don't have this much flashing here, so. Still got a little bit, but all that can be cleaned up. You'd rather have too much silver than not enough. As long as everything fills it out and I can fix the pieces that aren't perfect, we're good. I remember when I kept pressing the stick down in there, and there was that little tiny piece that kept popping out, and I kept trying to fix it. I wonder if that is why that happened. Probably. You should make different size. Well, Michael made this for me, and then he flaked out on me, and I sent his silver back to him. I guess he was mad I didn't call him or something. I don't know what happened, but I don't really have anybody to make it bigger. I don't have the file for it, and he used a different type of printing anyway. He used a different type of plastic. I forgot what that's called. It's kind of like when they dip. I think it like dips the piece down, and every time it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, whatever that's called. Now, I do have this in a file, and I can stick it into Cura, and I can make it bigger, but it's going to be PLA. So I'm not probably going to get this look out of it. And I might see different lines. You know how PLA works. It's just kind of weird. But I can try it in PLA and make it bigger. This is a nice size because I have the piece on the bottom. I have a round that I poured, and I hammer it flat. And this one's probably over an ounce. It might even be 1.5 ounces. And this is about 1 ounce too. And then that's what I tap onto. So it is a little bit bigger than the last one, but I hear you. If I make something that's like big, like 5 ounces, is anybody going to buy it? That's the problem. Yeah, Rhonda has one too. She has the different one though. She has one where the gavel is sitting on to the striker, whatever that piece is called. You got like a round piece of wood and then the gavel, and it's all one part. It's all one piece. So it stands up a lot better than this one does too, which is cool. But that one might be a little bit smaller than this one, but not much. What does that weigh, Rhonda? Was that 1 ounce? Broke Stacker, what's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well today. We just poured another gavel. So for anybody out there that has an auction, I'm going to use this through my auction. It'll be next Friday. And then at the end of the auction, I'll auction it off. And it comes with a round that I hammered flat so you can have something to bang it onto. It's a lot of fun, I will admit. That's the first time I poured where I didn't have a face shield on because it fell off. So I got my hard hat, and it attaches to this piece right here. And it fell off, and I needed to get this thing poured. You know, it's so cold outside. I wonder if that's why it kind of seemed like it was weird, like it wasn't quite melted as much as I would like it to have been. But I didn't want to take time to sit here and mess with this thing trying to get it on while I was about to pour. Usually I'm safety first. But yeah, that's what I put on my face to make sure that everything's covered. And then I'll wear a leather smock looking thing that goes down to my knees and goes all the way up to the bottom of my chin. But now what we got to do before this thing starts to get cold, I need to knock off this burnt sand because it's way easier if you do it when it's still warm. Usually it pops right out. If I wait, I'll sit here, I'll have to like scrape it if it gets cold on me. And that sucks. And you always end up losing more than you kind of want to. A lot of times, see how it just kind of pops off? And if I wait, I'll be sitting here scraping it and wasting a lot of duff clay, which is expensive.
$65 for 4 pounds, as opposed to Petrobond. You can get 10 pounds for like 30 bucks, I think. But it just doesn't work as good in my opinion. But I think that worked pretty good. See how all that just fell out? You know you got a good piece when it's caked to it. It basically kind of burns to it, and then you clean that off. And so when you pull it out, when it looks like that, and it's on both sides, you know you got a good pour. It might not be perfect, but at least you know the whole thing filled out. Try not to waste any duff clay I don't have to, you know. I don't want to use the burnt stuff, but if it's got a little bit of darkness to it, I'll still use it. You can even tell. You can even see how that's from previous pours, the little dark spots here and there. A little bit there, that's from previous pours. It still works. You just got to make sure you get all the burnt stuff off. Any of that. Whew, man, it is so cold. Holy crap. I need more clothes. And I always put that back into, I put the crucible back in there so that it cools down slowly. I've always done that, and I've had these things last me a long time. Broke Stacker, you know, how long does your crucible last when you're using electric? Not very long. I poured probably 250, in between 250 to 300 ounces out of one crucible. I just now replaced it. And even here, I'll show you the difference. Well, you might not see. If you weren't here when I showed it earlier, I was showing it and talking about it. But this is the one that I retired. And it's not even, I don't even know if it needs to be retired. But down there, there's a little hole down there. And I just didn't want to risk it because it kind of goes in a little bit more than it should. But this is what happens on the outside. If you don't, this is a salamander. If you don't get a salamander, that's what they look like pretty quick. And you know, you don't want to go to pour something and have the bottom drop out. That's not something you ever want to deal with. And I haven't had it happen yet, and I pour hundreds of ounces through this furnace. But that's why I always say, man, spend the extra money and get the salamander. They're way better. I know a lot of people use electric, so you can't really do it. I wish they made them. I don't know why they don't. They should make the salamanders for electric, but I've never found one. This paint, whatever this paint is that they put on it, it just makes it last way longer. It's on the inside too, but eventually the inside kind of gets worn. But the outside on this one looks about the same. I mean, there's a little bit of spots here and there, but for the most part, I mean, almost 300 ounces, that's awesome. Whew, my hands are freezing. All right. So I'm going to cut this off and clean it up and everything. This will be ready for next Friday. I'll be having my next auction on Friday. I wanted to do it this Friday and last Friday and the Friday before, but I had to keep pushing it back. I just didn't get enough stuff done. But next Friday, we'll definitely be doing it no matter what. And yeah, hopefully you can stop by. I would love to have you. This one weighs around an ounce, and then the bottom part weighs another ounce. So together it's a 2 ounce piece. Yeah, you had the holy gavel. This one, it did have a little bit of a spot. See right there? That's not perfect, but I'm going to try to clean it up a little bit. I can definitely make it look better than that. You can see it too because there's still dirt kind of stuck in there. Definitely had a lot of flash in here, but that's because I took a stick and pressed it down, because usually it ends here, and I was going to see if I could get it like out here and make it a little bit longer. But if I do that, it's also not going to, usually it stands up. And if I make this too long, it's not going to want to stand up. But, you know, you can always sit it down. But the other piece that I have, usually it's an ounce. This one I think is 1.5 ounces. So this should be about 2.5 ounces when all is said and done. But we'll have to see. It's about that time the deer might start rolling in. I don't have any corn out for them. I took the dog for a walk in the woods the other day, and 6 deer took off. And he was a good boy. I told him stay, and he was looking. He wanted to go. I mean, he wanted to go hard, and I was like, no, stay. And he just watched them run away. He's definitely listening good. But so I went over to where they ran from, because I had a feeling that's where they've been bedding down. And sure enough, you could tell that deer had been laying all over the place in there. Not to mention, there was poop everywhere. Doe poop and buck poop. And I know some of you might be asking, how can you tell the difference between doe poop and buck poop? Buck poop looks more like human, where it's like kind of a log. And doe poop is little tiny pellets, almost like rabbit poop. For some reason, the bucks compress more before they poop. I don't know why, but Herman says it looks good. I appreciate that. If I missed anything, sorry guys. Nobody had really commented for a while, so. Man, I want to pour right now. Going to have to wait a few more weeks. Uh-oh, what's going on, bro? You gotta wait a few weeks? Is it tomorrow or next week for the auction? Yeah, next Friday. I was trying to do it by this Friday, but I just don't have quite enough done. It's been so cold. And there's been snow on the ground. I had a foot of snow, and the snow was here for like a month. Like it just stayed around freezing. It never got a chance to melt. Granted, you know, I can do some stuff in here in the shed and whatnot, but I don't know. Oh, never mind. I thought there was a deer running, but it was a leaf blowing through. Looked like a tail. You get about 10. Wow. See, that's what I'm saying. And then when I'm talking about 250 to 300 ounces, I'm not talking about like 1 ounce pours. Some of them are 1/2 ounce. Some of them are 3 or 4 ounce. So I'd have to say I had to have got at least 200 pours out of one crucible. So you don't have to buy crucibles as much, but you got to buy gas. So, and I tell you, man, the gas doesn't last that long. In a 5-gallon propane tank, and when it starts to get low, you got to fill it up. So usually I only put about $10 in it, if that. Sometimes 7 to 8, $10, you know, because it has a little bit in it. But when it starts to get low like that, it just doesn't push out to 4. And this one's kind of doing that. It feels full, but it's not quite pushing out. It went up to 3, but as it went lower. I don't know if that has anything to do with the cold. It could have something to do with the cold. It definitely feels freezing right now. Still healing. Just got back from the doctor. I'll do an update video later today. Okay, I'll have to check that out. You make a 5-ouncer. We need to talk. Yeah, I would like to get something going at some point. Possibly. I mean, I'll do whatever people are interested in. I always try to ask people. Like, I have tons of pours I've done, and I'll always go inside and I'll show you guys a bunch of molds that I have and things that I've picked up, and try to ask people, hey, you know, what are you into? Do you like this? Do you like that? Is there anything you want me to pour? But most of the time, nobody really says, pour this. So I'm just kind of, that's another thing. That's another reason why I've been having a hard time, because a lot of the stuff I poured, I did a lot of prototypes and number 1s, and like the praying hands, that'll be up to 8. I've done some channel rounds up to like 14, I think. But but I just never know what to keep doing. Like that alien spawn, I think that's a number 2. I broke the mold on that too, by the way. When I did the copper one, I broke the mold. I did glue it back together, so I'm gonna have to see how it works out. I mean, super glue should hold it, but it broke in like 2 places because you know that the foot kind of goes over, so it broke on the leg and the tail type of deal. What is that little? Oh, what's a diamond, guys? Anybody know? I see a thing for it because it's got the super chat thing, and then it has a little thing next to it that says 0. And I think that's diamonds. I remember reading an email where they said that you could do some kind of gift thing now. I don't know if it's just diamonds or what, but I just noticed that. I guess that's what it is. I have no idea. I don't even know what a diamond costs. Or it's like a little red diamond or a ruby maybe. I don't know. Do you guys see it? Is it there? I haven't been into a live stream where I've seen that. Yeah, we'll have to pray for Broke to heal quick and for Rhonda to get better. I'll definitely be saying prayers for you guys. And anybody else, if there's anybody here that needs a prayer, let me know. The only thing that I really pray for myself is strength to be the best version of myself every day. So I try to give all my prayers to others. And I do say every day, thank you for my mind, body, and soul, for my family, for my health, for my family's health, you know, all that kind of stuff. Being, you know, thank you for this life, for all my experiences, good and bad, you know. I try to just be grateful every day, more than like an actual praying for something, other than strength. I've been praying lately more for like decisiveness, because I'm very indecisive. And then when it comes to the pours, that's exactly what I was just talking about. Sometimes I just don't know what to pour. And I'm very low on silver, so I should have had an auction a freaking month ago so that I could have one now and then maybe be able to buy some shop, but it's been struggling to get stuff done. But hopefully everybody will show up for me next Friday. We can get a couple bidding wars going on. I've definitely had to raise the starting bid prices because it's hard, man. I have a lot of work in some of these pieces, and it's hard to do it for like a lot of things. I was doing even sandcast for $35 an ounce. That's cheap. Jack Silver, he was telling me that he charges $2 a gram. So right now that'd be like $65 per ounce for sandcasts. Now, like graphite mold pours, that's a different story. But sandcasting is not easy. And I feel like my sandcasts usually look better than most people's. Not everybody, but I got a pretty good handle on it, I think. And the main reason is because I will melt something down. If it didn't look good enough, I will just redo it. I try to let my prototypes be what they are, and that's just like little tiny imperfections here and there. If something doesn't fill out all the way, I won't do it. Here, I'll show you one. I wish I had put this in that video. I did a video talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly with pouring. And I was talking about, because I did that eagle and it didn't fill out, and that was the bad. And then I had, the ugly was like the scarab that I did, but it's not really ugly. It actually looks pretty good. But it has like 2 or 3 little dots that isn't quite smooth. So it's not perfect. But this one, I did this, and I've done this in silver a few times, but I wanted to try it in copper. And man, I think it looks really good, except for right here. And if you see in the back, that just doesn't look good. Now, it be in the back, I would let that go because it's the back. It's not, you know, it's not what we're looking at here. The only thing that you're looking at back here is going to be the stamps, and I can get stamps around that. But let me zoom in for you. You see right here, like that's the claw. 1, 2, 3 right there, and then the fourth one's supposed to be over here. And I don't know what happened there. It's like it didn't get hot enough. Like up here is not perfect. There's something going on there. And so I just, I can't let it go. Even this claw looks a little bit funky. But other than that, it looks pretty good up here too. Now, what happened was, like I was telling you guys, I have a couple propane tanks that I think are kind of starting to act weird. Like they won't blow out but so much. I usually, with a brand new one, a good propane tank, I can get it to go up to 4. And for some reason, like 250 and 3 is kind of where these like to hang out. But it got low and it was going down to like 2. It wouldn't get above 2. And I was doing copper, and copper has to be hotter than silver when you're pouring it. So I went ahead and changed the tank out real quick, and I tried to give it enough time to get back up to temperature and everything melted down. And I think I just didn't leave it long enough. I should have probably waited like another couple minutes. And I think that's what happened. Like some of it just wasn't quite melted all the way. And that's why it looks like that. That's why that happened. Starika, what's going on? Copper is a real cruel mistress. I agree. I started doing copper. Copper was a couple of my first pours ever. And actually, if anybody's interested in picking up my first pours, I put it in the last auction and nobody bid, but they're not great pieces. But this is when I first started. I have my second silver pour I ever did, and I have my second copper pour I ever did. So if you guys are interested, I might put them back out Friday. I'm kind of thinking about just keeping them. So the only thing that I've kept of all my pours is my first and second for silver and copper. That's the only ones I've kept. Everything else I've given out to the community, either given out or sold in my auctions. A lot of you probably got some giveaway stuff. When I first started pouring, I think I gave away like 10 ounces of silver and about the same in gold. And it was just rounds and bars, just things that the learning process, just trying to figure out how the metal works, But yeah, Starika, I'm with you. It's definitely a different animal. But anyway, I started with copper, and I did some pours, but they're not perfectly smooth, they're not the greatest. And I know a lot of people like that sort of thing because it makes everyone a little bit different, but I'm such a perfectionist. Like, I want it to be as good as I can possibly get it. So now those pours probably wouldn't go out because I would want to remelt them and make them better. But it's my first pours ever, so I'll definitely be holding on to those. The first, anyway. The first was the Eagle, and then the second was the Tool in silver. And then the first was a guitar, a little guitar keychain in copper, and then the second was 30-06 bullet. And the bullet was it's kind of weird because I had a crucible that, like, crucibles should be like this and shouldn't move. This one kind of, like, it would move a little bit, a tiny bit, but I guess when I put it back together, it was not in the same exact place it was when I had it open. So, like, the bullet is kind of shifted a little bit. Like, you can actually see half of the, what's the thing called on the back? The, what's that called? The little circle on the back. The primer. Jeez. So the primer, you can see half of it on one side, but you can't see it on the other side. And it's hard to even get details from the bottom of a bullet anyway because you're doing it from top and bottom. So getting the details from the side is kind of hard anyway. But yeah, it shifted just enough to where I had to kind of file on it for a while to get it even with the other side. But yeah, a couple of the first pours ever. Anyway, I'm sitting here just rambling. They sell bigger tanks. Yeah, I just can't afford a bigger tank, man. I can't even afford the small one. I would like to get a 20. Eventually, I will probably get a 20. The problem is too, it's a lot harder to maneuver around. I do like these because I put them into a milk crate, and it's just easier to carry them around. And when I put it in my truck, it fits in the milk crate. It won't slide all over the place. You know, you hit the brakes and they'll go flying. So I like to have it in a milk crate. But I think the 20 ounce or the 20 gallon, I think that's the same size, just taller. So if it still fits in a milk crate, that'd be nice. And then I can just put it in the back of the truck and leave it open and throw a strap on it. Just have to leave my cover open. Man, the cover on my last truck was really nice. It took up a lot of room because it had a big box right behind the bed, or right behind the window. There was a box, but it was all metal, and it was like little 1-inch slats, and so the whole thing would like go and roll up into that box, and so you could get it all the way up, and then you could pull it out. Now I gotta like flip the whole thing up. It's like a 3-way kind of flip thing. So it still works, but man, it used to be so much nicer just to be able to roll that thing up a little bit and just leave it where it was, because it wouldn't go flying. With this one, I got to get up in the truck and snap everything down, make sure the air doesn't catch it. But yeah, every truck I've ever had, I've always tried to have a bed cover on it. And actually, I had to get the handle didn't have a lock on it, so I ended up getting an aftermarket one that locks, so now I can just lock everything up. Chevys. The newer ones might have it. It's a little bit older. That's the question had. That is the set challenge. Like, say you have something you are fretting on pouring, so you set it for $5 and 10 super chats. It counts the super chats, and you can set a time limit. Okay. Yeah, but I thought that I thought there was like a whole like diamond thing that they had going on. Like that was separate from the super chats. That's what I was thinking when I saw that little, because it looks like a diamond. It looks like one of those little, it was red, so I guess maybe it's a ruby or something, I don't know. But I feel like they said diamond in the email. A red diamond. Like that's what it looks like. I don't know. I'm close to getting baby monetization. 27:15 watch hours. Nice. You're almost there. Yeah, what is that? At 3,000? Is that the super chats? No. I forgot. There's something you could do with 3,000. But I don't remember what it was exactly. Yeah, I was thinking about doing like the whole membership thing, because that would really help out. A lot of people don't realize how expensive it is to have a channel and to buy stickers and do giveaways and, you know, all the stuff. It's expensive. All the shipping. I never even add in like the shipping, the cost of all the stuff I use for shipping. And I gotta buy a big ass roll of tape every time I go live, or every time I have an auction. Granted, that's only like $5, but all that stuff adds up. So it helps out when people can do little things like that. Definitely goes a long way. And it's much appreciated too. I used to do that. I just can't do it anymore. If I had the money like I used to, I would be super chatting all the time. It's hard out here. So yeah, next Friday will probably be, it might be the last auction for a while. So if you want to get something, and for something that you see me pour that you want to get one, let me know, and I'll try to have something ready for the next auction, which will be next Friday. But after that, I think what it might have to go to is like a quarterly thing, like maybe every quarter, per year. Like I'll have 4 auctions a year, maybe, or something like that. Because I'm gonna be working full time here pretty soon, and I'm just not gonna have enough time to do it. The spring might be a little bit more. Spring and fall, I might be able to get more stuff done, just because it's not so hot, a little bit nicer. But we'll have to see. And in the summer too, I'm kind of thinking about maybe trying to start a lawn care business, which I have everything to do it. I have all the equipment, so it would be nice if I could get to spring, but I just don't think I can do that. I'd have to be doing a lot more. Just a dude, what's going on? Appreciate you stopping in. And Broke Stacker said, "Hey, dude," and I immediately thought of the Beatles song, "Hey, Jude," and I was thinking, "Hey, dude." My mind works weird. Anyway, go for it. Be your own boss. Yeah. So I was trying to do with this, man, but it's just hard out here making money. Like the profits are just not enough to really keep it going like that. Now, if I got something where I could, if like get a people will pour rounds and then they'll press it and make coins out of it, or bars that have cool designs. Like that's the way to really make money, because you can put out like 50 or 100 of one piece and put it on all the different platforms, put it on a website, That's really the way to do it, to really be able to build something. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm able to pay my bills and everything, but it's hard to do enough to be able to buy more shot. Not to mention, I just realized that PayPal is taxing everything. I thought that was only with goods and services. So that kind of sucks. I'm probably losing money at this point. You going to her house? Okay. Love you. Be careful. But yeah, we gave it a good run. And like I said, I'm never going to stop doing it. It's something I love to do. So it's definitely something that will continue. But trying to do one every couple weeks, there's just no way to be able to have the time to do it, I wish I could make that happen, and we'll get there eventually. We will get there. But for a while, I might be slowing down a little bit, trying to do some other things too. But anyway, maybe we will go inside. I've got some stuff to do. I mean, we could go hunt some coins, if anybody's into that. I got a bunch of pennies, some quarters. Do some coin roll hunting. I'll probably start up a different live for that. I think maybe sometime during the week. I want to try to go live a little bit more often. And if you don't mind, stop by and check out my videos and leave a comment. Hit the like button for me. But just leaving comments really helps the algorithm. It helps push you out a little bit if there's a lot of comments. And I definitely appreciate you guys whenever you do. And we'll definitely appreciate it in the future. But just wanted to throw that out there. If anybody feels so inclined. And you want to see what my pours look like, I've been posting videos. Actually, when I get off here, I'm going to post another one or two. Shorts. I've been posting shorts of everything that I sell. I should be doing it before I sell it so that you can see what's going on. But I always make a video before. If I'm going to have an auction, I'll make a video showing what I have. So make sure you hit the bell so that you know, for one, when that auction is going to be, and you'll see the preview video. But yeah, I've been taking videos, like little 1-minute videos, and it's pretty cool now. You can actually do up to 3-minute videos, so that's cool. Shorts can be a little bit longer now. But I really don't need longer than a minute anyway when I'm just trying to show you a pour that I did. But I usually show the pour and try to say thank you to whoever got it, you know. Just a way of saying thank you publicly, you know, because I do appreciate you guys. And, but yeah, it's tough to get likes on those. I was talking about that earlier, how like on TikTok, man, I used to get pretty decent likes. And I posted like 10 videos and they all have one like, and the like is me. I liked my own video just to get a like. Like, man, it's hard out here. I'm also on Clapper. I've been having issues posting videos there, so I'm really far behind on that. But I sent them an email, and hopefully that'll be fixed, so I can catch up on that. Instagram, I'm on Instagram. I really need to get on there. I've got so many. I have pictures of every pour that I've poured. Right now, I'm like months and months and months, probably at least 100 pours behind on showing you guys what's there. But I wanted to have everything on the internet. That way, if you have a pour and you want to show somebody what you got, you can just go to my Instagram page and say, oh, here's my pour right here. So there is a decent amount on there, but there's so many more. But it's like almost overwhelming because I'm so far behind and there's so many pictures. But I'll get caught up at some point. And then I just started a thing called Favorited. That's a place that you can go live and do stuff, but you can't really post videos, so I doubt I'll really use it. I'm on X, but I only have like 17 followers, so that kind of sucks. But if anybody's on X and you feel so inclined, I would love it if you would come over and stop by over there. I've been posting the same videos. I put it on all platforms. That way people can see what I'm doing, and if they want to come get something, they can come over to the YouTube. Because I solely, the only way you can get my pours is on YouTube. And that might change, but for now, this is where I started, even though I do have more followers on TikTok. By the way, thank you everybody for getting me to 2,000. That's awesome. We got 2015 last time I looked. That's amazing. I appreciate you guys. Seems like every live stream we usually get a few new subscribers. It's just getting them to come back. That's the hard part, getting them to come back. So X, Instagram, TikTok, Clapper, and there's another one I just started. Oh, Lemon 8. Lemon 8. So it's kind of like lemonade, but it's 8. I don't know why, but it's a pretty cool platform. I like it. So I started posting some stuff over there too. But yeah, that's new for me. I don't even know how many followers I have there. Clapper, I got up to like 450 followers, somewhere around there, but it just wouldn't let me post anymore, so I haven't been getting any new ones. The crazy thing about Clapper is the other day, I couldn't post since like before Christmas. Every time I try to post, it just says 0% loading. It will not start to load. So I sent him an email because a couple days ago, I tried that penny video. I put that penny video up and it worked. And I was like, what the hell? That was a long video. How did that work? But even my shorts won't go up. So I tried to do a short right after. The short wouldn't load. So the next day, I was like, let me try this again. One of the shorts loaded, and then I tried to do another short and it wouldn't load. So I don't know if it's like you can only do one a day now or what, but like for a while, it wouldn't even let me do one. I kept trying and kept trying. I tried at least 15 times to post a video on Clapper and it just wouldn't work. But Clapper is like TikTok. It's all like short form videos. Lemonade is the same thing, but you can do videos. It's kind of like Instagram. You can do videos and pictures. All right, Broke Stacker, I appreciate you hanging out. You thought about having a custom die made up. Yeah, man, that's what I want to do. It's expensive. I heard somebody telling me it was like $1,000. Well, it was in a video. They had somebody make one for them and it cost like $1,000 to make it. And I was like, dang, I don't know if I want to do all that. There is a guy on TikTok that does it, but I think he only does it for himself, because I think 2 or 3 times now I've asked him, hey, do you happen to do this for other people? Is there any way that I could get you to make something for me? And he never answers me. So I don't know, maybe I need to DM him, because that's just in comments. But yeah, I want to I'm thinking about buying just a regular bottle jack press because that will work. Silver isn't crazy hard or anything. I think that will work enough. I've seen people do some stuff like that. Because if you buy one, it's like $10,000 for like a coin press. And I just can't afford that. I'll probably never afford that. And I do have a 6-ton bottle jack and I got a bunch of strut. And I was thinking about trying to make one out of all metal like that. So I might try that too. But I was looking at that and the time it's going to take me to make it. I'm like, it's probably better just to buy one because it's only like $120 to buy a bottle jack press. And I guess that's more for like automotive type of stuff. But I think it'll work to press a coin. Maybe not like any kind of high relief thing, but if you're trying to get a design into something, I think it'll work. It's supposed to be nice this weekend. So she wants to break the smoker out. She's going to stop tomorrow and get some food to smoke. Probably some ribs, maybe a pork butt or something. But you're trying to stay away from pork butt. It is good. I like doing ribs. I got a smoker over here just outside of the camera view, but it's one of those barrel smokers. And then it has a little box on the side. Well, the whole bottom of that box rusted out. And I've used it a few times where I'll have a piece of metal that I'll put up against it and I'll have something propping it up underneath. So I can rig it up to work, but it's such a pain in the butt. I need to just get a new box for it because the grill part's fine. And actually I could use it as like a charcoal grill too. But she got an electric smoker. I mean, that's just set it and forget it. You don't have to sit with it. Like this thing, like every 20 minutes, I got to put more wood chips in it. So it's like, 8 hours of sitting there all day with the thing. With this electric one, you put it in and just kind of, I don't know because I've never used one, but I'm assuming you put the wood chips in there and just set it. You might have to add more wood chips after an hour or two. I don't know, but it's got to be easier than adding charcoal and wood chips. I guess you just try to make sure they're nice and wet. Yeah, Wild Pig. That's where I was thinking about that from. That's what he started doing. And he turned his thing into, he started out with 10 ounces and turned it into what it is today. That's awesome. He does sandcast, but he doesn't do a whole lot of sandcasting. But yeah, that's a good idea. I should talk to him. When he first started TikTok, I was one of his first subscribers, and he was going live, and I was hanging out and talking to him. That's how I got those pours. He's a really good dude. He doesn't like teaching people too much because he was doing a thing on Instagram, and the people were like learning from him and then kind of like screwing him over and shit. So, oh, there's a deer looking at me. You want some corn, sweetie? Here, I'll put some corn out real quick. I got a little bit left, and we can sit and watch the deer. Hold on. Hold on. I'll get it for you. I'm coming. Oh, there's a few of you. One last hurrah with the deer. Sure, you guys like deer, right? You wanna watch some deer? I gotta get this thing bigger. Man, my hands are froze. Holy crap! It's hard to use them. That's the smoker I was talking about. But look, there's a few deer back there. They'll come up. They're used to me. They know me pretty well. little one. A couple of them. Phew, man. This one doesn't go as high as my other one, so it's kind of hard to see the comments. I gotta shut this door. Man. As soon as I said that, it shut itself. You see him? Come on. Good girls. Good girls. That's the last of it. That's all I got left. We got 4 of them in here. That's the mama running around the back. What's up, mama? How you doing? You having a good day? I just sit and talk to them like they're humans. They're used to me. So the 2 little ones there, that's hers. The other one, I don't know. I don't know where that one came from. Must be hanging out with them now. She's being a little bit more skittish. I can't see her. She's behind a tree. Oh, there's another one coming up too. That's a big old doe. Holy crap. I'm gonna stop talking for a minute so they walk up. Sometimes they'll start kicking at each other. One, two, three, four, 5. Oh, there's 6 of them. Come on. This little one right here, she's the brave one. Yeah, Harbor Freight, yep. That's what I was thinking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 6. They're chasing each other around. There's a few of them back there. Try to stop moving because these other ones don't know me like those 3 do. I'm not sure if they dropped their antlers yet. I took the dog back in the woods and was looking around, but I didn't see anything. I think that might be more like next month. I feel like that was a March thing. So we got 5 here. There's 1 more in the back. She's just watching me. She's nervous. The 3 that are here, that's the ones that always come in. Oh, she's coming up. Oh, there's another one. There's 7 of them. The one that just came in, she's the one that was in the back. Oh. And she's gonna keep chasing them off. She does that. I wish my phone was big enough to see all of them. Very skittish. Not this one though. This is the mama that always comes in. She's used to me. It's so cold out here. I don't know how much longer it will last. Got the shakes. One good thing about getting the shakes is you're burning your fat. It's a good way to lose weight. Just be cold all the time. Man, she is chasing that other one down. Yeah, there's 7 of them. I haven't seen a buck in so long. By the way, if you're here and you haven't done it already, double tap the screen for me so we can get to 20. That would be awesome. The other ones keep looking, but they can't see me because I'm standing still. If I start talking too loud, they'll probably not come in. They're not used to me, like the other 3. I wish they'd bring a buck with them one day. She's a pretty one right there that's eating. She's got a lot of white. Mr. and Mrs. West, I can't speak. Mr. and Mrs. That other one was back there licking her butt. Whoa. Mr. and Mrs. West, Texas, Stacker. Hello. Appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, we got like 7 deer out here, but they're kind of skittish. 3 of them know me and they don't care. They'll sit here and eat, but the other ones are being weird because they're not used to me like the other ones are. Definitely looks pretty tasty, I can tell you that much. I never did get one this year, too. I didn't really hunt this year. Come on, man, I wish they'd walk in. All of them are standing at one spot, too, just outside of the camera. But I don't want to move it because then they're probably going to run off. I'm like hunched over trying to talk into the camera, too, because this stupid ass. My tripod broke, so I got this cheap one I'm using, which isn't tall enough. It's like a foot shorter than my other one. There's still plenty of corn, guys. I think my table broke. Oh, they're about to roll out. There they go. I think they're just chasing each other around. This one might come back. I think the other ones are gone. She'll probably come up and eat some more. the 3 that are used to me get kind of skittish when the other ones are being weird. But yeah, tenderloins are very tasty. She's just outside of the camera, but she might walk up. Here she comes. Very nervous. I had a table I made, and the whole thing blew over in the wind the other day. It's old. Well, we got 20 likes. I appreciate you guys. Just sitting out here pouring. All of a sudden, a bunch of deer come running in, and they were all standing out there like just looking at me. So I took some corn out real quick, and then they all came in, but they didn't last very long. But those 3 that come in all the time, they'll stand there, they'll eat the corn, then they'll step like 5 yards away from the corn, and then they'll wait for me to put more corn out. And they'll let me get usually about 10 yards. You know, she gone. Usually they'll let me get about 10 yards away. I'll bring more corn out to them. I never got them to like come over to me and try to like, eat out of my hand or anything. I don't know if I want to do that anyway, because I don't want them to be that used to people. But anyway, that was fun. How many live streams have I had now where all of a sudden at the end of the stream there's a bunch of deer? It's happened at least 10 times. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I can show you what we poured if there's anybody new. This thing is not going to sit very well. Awfully zoomed. So yeah, I was talking about my duds. I did a video talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I was like, man, why didn't I put this one in there? Because you can see it's all messed up down there. I've done this in silver a few times, but I was trying to make one in copper. But this is what we poured today. It's a gavel. So I want to cut it off, get all this flashing off, clean it up, and then I have another piece that's a round that it's about 1.5 ounces, I think, and I hammered it flat. And so when I have my auction next Friday, every time something sells, sold, right? So that'll be fun. And then if there's anybody out there that wants one, at the end of the auction, I'll be auctioning this one off. So once it's cleaned up, it'll be available, along with some other things. Actually, the reason why I did this in copper is because I have one in silver. And so I thought it would be cool to give somebody the opportunity to get both. But I might try to redo it. If there's anybody here that likes this and wants me to do it, if you're, thinking about that's something that you might like and want to pick up, I'll definitely redo it. But I do have one in silver. And I think the silver is like 3.5 ounces. Actually, it might be right around 3 ounces. Something like that. But yeah, obviously I gotta cut the sprue off because that's where we dumped it in. But anyway, I'm gonna go upstairs. Let's go back inside because I'm freezing. Man, I cut my dog's nails the other day. You see that? He started bleeding because he pulled his paw away from me right as I was getting ready to snip it. and he pulled his paw away, and somehow it cut him. And I felt so bad, man. I couldn't even fall asleep that night. I felt so bad. So we get everything fine, and he's good to go. He's not bleeding anymore. Well, I bring him outside, and then I guess he stepped on something. I got a lot of, um, those balls that drop off the trees. Those are kind of all over the place. And there's a lot of sticks around, obviously, because he always goes running through the woods. But, man, he started bleeding again. I felt so bad. I had to sit there. They say that, like, if you do that and you cut the nail, there he is. There's my boy. Go ahead, go on. Go outside. There's my other boy. You can go outside, buddy. You gonna speak? Yeah. He speaks. Go on, go outside. Go ahead, go. He's like, I'd rather just jump around and be crazy. Oh, man, it's cold. Here, I'm going to show you a couple pours before I get off here. Oh, man. And if there's any ladies out there, I made a little coin box painted by yours truly. It's something from the dollar store. I mean, it's nothing all that great, but I thought about maybe putting that up in the auction just to see. I guess shipping would be kind of expensive for it, but... So, anyway, I got a praying hands. So that's one that I do. This is number 7, and I'm going to do a number 8 too, because I know 7 wants this one, and so I'm going to give her the opportunity to get that. But I thought he was chasing the deer. I want to give him the opportunity or give her the opportunity to get that. But I'm going to make it number 8. That way, if there is somebody else that wants one, she's got a better chance. But that's one. Then I have an alien spawn. That's silver. That's about 3 ounces. Everything still needs to be stamped. Then I have a copper one I did. This is the first one. This is a prototype in copper. That one I think is a number 2. So I always do a prototype first, and then I do a number 1. I think this one is a number 2 as well. Still got to be cleaned up a little bit more. But this one's pretty ready. And this one's hard to get this handle to look perfect. This handle is like almost perfect. Oh, I was talking about apps earlier. Flip is another app that I recently got on. And that's where you can like sell things. But I don't know. It might be a scam. I put a couple things. I got a good price because they pay you to watch videos, right? So every time you watch a video, you get a few cents. And I got some money on it. And then the first time you buy, you get like 60% off. And then the next time is like 50% off. But when I buy that stuff, I get it in, I make a video of it, and then there's a link for somebody to buy it. I haven't sold anything on it yet, but I just started it. But that's another app I'm on. And it is Capital Currency as well. But yeah, I'm on all the different platforms, so if anybody wants to check me out somewhere else, that'd be nice. A lot of it's kind of the same stuff you see here, but that's how I try to pull other people into YouTube from other platforms. So Instagram, TikTok, Clapper, favorited, but that's more just for live streaming, which I only live stream here. And then Lemonade is another one I just got on. Good boy. Get him a treat. Sit. Paw. Good boy. Speak. 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 Good boy. He was acting like he wanted to, but he wouldn't do it. So anyway, check me out on those other platforms if you would. I'd appreciate it. Here's another one. This is the scarab I did. Pretty cool piece. So I copy stuff in silver or copper. So this was the original. This is plastic, and I made a copy of it. This is a Buffalo Boyan design. He actually 3D printed this, and then I've been making copies of it. I did break it. You can see right there and right there it broke when I did that copper one. So I glued it back together. We'll see how it holds up. So I might do more, but I have to see how it turns out. The poker chip, I've done quite a few poker chips. I've done 11 of these. I wasn't planning on doing any more, but if anybody wants one, I will do one of those for the next auction. And then I have this too, which is a thick one. I think this one weighs 2.5 ounces, something like that. The spearhead, this is one that I love to do. This is something that I found personally. I was digging a hole just outside of Washington, D.C., inside the Beltway. And I found this. I was digging a hole, making a four-wheeler jump because I would ride my four-wheeler on my lunch break and after work right next to where I was at. And they ended up building over there and everything. But, man, it was pretty cool digging a hole and 2 foot in the ground. I find this. It did get chipped right here, and it got chipped there. So what I do is I make a sand cast of it, and then I'll press the sand out so that you can't really tell. It looks a little bit more, you know, like more of a, like it comes over further. So it looks like more of a place where you would tie it off. So I do make this look a lot better. But this is an original piece that I found. So that's awesome. And I do some other ones too. I think this was the number 2 and this was the number 3. And then this was the number 1. This is one that I found, or my grandfather had made. Freaking cat here. My grandfather had made he's Native American, and he made a dream catcher for my mother. And I took this out of it so I can make copies. So that's the number 1. So I do have 3 different arrowheads I do. I've done quite a few eagles. This being my first silver sand cast I ever did. It's got the bicentennial dates, 1776, 1976. Pretty cool piece. Doesn't always work. I've gotten 2 out of 5. This is a mess up here. You can see the wing didn't fill out. So I'm probably going to redo that. This is another one I do. And you don't see those. That's where the nails went to hold it into whatever. And so I don't know where I found this at, but this is metal. But you see how it's very thin. So it ends up being completely flat the way that I do it. Because I'll sit it down, put the flask over it, put the sand in it, and then use another flask with the same side. Because usually they have pins. Some have pins and some don't. And I can show you what I mean. Like, see how this has pins here? And that's how it holds together. Well, when I do that, I have to use 2 of these and just make sure that it's lined up straight and then clamp it down. And that's how I make that one. It's like the only way to do it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to get it to fill in all the way. This was that bar that I just showed you guys, the copper one that failed. So I got one of those in silver. So I'm going to have to redo that. I've got some other pours downstairs too, but this is some pew-pews I do. MP5. I had this at the last auction, and somebody was asking about a double barrel. Said they like one, so I might redo these again. And they're not very heavy. So some of the less expensive pieces. And then I've done these before as well. So we got not an AK. This is, AK-47. And then our version. AR-15. And then I do a flying turtle that a lot of people like. That's the turtle I use. I keep the sprue on it so that it's standing up, and everybody wanted me to do that one time, so I went with it. If I do another one, that'll be a number 2, I believe. And then here's the CC shield. You can't really see the CC very good on it, but that's like a channel shield I do. And then we got Yeshua. I like this one. This is a heavy one. I think this is in between 3 and 4 ounces. I think it's like 3 ounces, if I'm not mistaken. But I got a bunch of eagles. This is one that I haven't done yet that I'd like to try to do. I had to grind down on this a lot to even be able to get it to kind of work. And it wasn't quite ready yet, so I got to grind on that a little bit more, I think. This is one I did for any of my Marines out there. That's a cool one. And also one that I really like And for this, you get 3 pours with 1 purchase. The runes. I just posted a short on these so you can see what they look like. Definitely watch my shorts if you want to see any of the pieces I've put out. Transform, Warrior, and this one is Protection. And I antique them so they look pretty much like this. It looks a little bit more silvery, but I antique it so that everything pops really good. So that's a cool one too. I was thinking about maybe trying this Punisher one. I might try to do this one. And I got some other turtles. I've got some other eagles. I got an owl. I bought a bunch of necklaces and I was just trying to make copies of it. They all have holes though, so I got to fill in the holes before I try to pour them, but I might try to do that one too. There's another owl that I do that somebody was asking me for. I need to do that soon too, because I think Gadita wanted that. I need to try to get one of those done. That's a hard one though. It's heavy too. I think it weighs 6 ounces. I only did one in copper. I never tried to do one in silver because it's so heavy. But yeah, this was a keychain. And so that's the keychain and that's the silver. The alien suit. Here's a Geiger's alien. That's a pretty cool one. I've done that a couple times. And then this skull bar. That's a cool one I like to put out. Tree of Life. I might do another one of those. And then if anybody's into Glocks, this is a Glock that I do. I did another flying turtle. This was the other flying turtle I did. 7, I believe, got that as well. And I've done some guitars. When I first started selling my pours, this is the Gibson. So I might try to do this one again. I tried it before and it didn't turn out, so I need to give it another go. And then this one right here, that's a Fender. And then this one I did one time. It got passed on in the auction, so I ended up selling this one to Michael because I was doing stuff for him because he was making me molds. That's the only time I've ever done that, so I really try not to do that anymore. Like everything I do goes into the auctions. This is another one. I don't know if this is made out of wood or what. That's another arrowhead. So let me know if you see anything that you're interested in picking up one. Let me know. This one I broke. I glued it back together, but we'll see how that works. I like this one a lot. I call that the horse and rider. And this shield, I only did a prototype of this. I almost want to try to knock one of these out again and put a number 1 out. This one, I did this in copper. It's pretty heavy, so I don't know if I'll ever do silver. It's pretty thick. But if you're interested, next Friday I'll have one of these available in copper. Here's another one that I did only one of. I did a prototype. I never tried to do a number 1. It's missing one of the skulls here, which is kind of, I think, why he sold this one to me. But it's another Buffalo Bullion design. All these with this color is Buffalo Bullion. But what I did is I stamped a CC right there where the other one would have been. And then we got the girl. If you're not 18, don't watch. This one. And I made it so that she stands up. I left some of the sprue on and she'll stand up. 7 Stacks picked that up. I might try to get this Gollum. I'd like to do that one. It's hard though. If anybody likes doubloons, I've done a few of these. These are from Pirate Stacker, doubloons, and that one I put a CC one. But I've been just doing this one, the regular one. So I grind it down because I want to get the made in China off of there. So I grind it down a little bit. And those are about 1 ounce. I can do those. And then the lion. That's another cool one I like to do. That's about 3 ounces as well. Actually, I did this prototype once. I never did a number 1.
Michael made me some stuff, and when he flaked out on me, I'm like, man, I don't know what's up with him, but he did send me this stuff. It says Alpha Stacker. Now, Alpha Stacker is a guy on Instagram, but I was wondering if anybody would be interested in something because I like to think of myself as an Alpha Stacker. You know what I mean? I also have the bar that I made for his buddy. And then he flaked out on me, and I guess he's not helping me no more, so I don't know. I think he thought I was his boyfriend and got mad when I didn't call him and stuff. And then I did some buttons with these. These are little tokens. And it's, gosh, you can't see. I did open sandcasts with these. So I made them an ounce. So that one and that one. That's the Freedom. These are, if you want to see what they look like, you can go check out the shorts I did. That's the Freedom round, and then that's the Eagle round. Button is what I call them, because they look kind of like buttons. And then I was thinking about doing another one. I haven't done this yet, so I think by the next auction I'm going to have this. There'll be a little button with this angel on it. That'd be a great pocket piece, I think. Other than that, because I got the praying hands, and I'm probably going to have 2 of them for the next auction, I might do another one of the praying hands button, which is that. So I stick it in the sand and then I pop it out. I just have this tape attached to it so I can pull it back out. This is one that I never did. CC, it's more of a channel kind of thing, but it's going to be heavy too. It's probably 2 or 3 ounces, at least 2 ounces. Just a couple of keys with the backwards C like I always do. But I never knew if anybody would be interested in it, so I never made it. So I like showing you guys this stuff because if there is anything that you want me to do, I will do it. I'll try to have something ready. I got another thing here. This is one I only did a prototype on. It's not thick like this. I do it to where it's kind of like a bar. That was a cool piece. This is one that I tried to do one time. I did 3 of these. One antiqued, one regular. Shout out to Fish. He picked up one. And then I think JK picked up one too. And I did one in copper as well, because the original's copper. I would like to try to do another one of these at some point. Oh, the newest thing. I just glued this to a copper round because I'm going to make a copy of this in silver. A peace sign. Talk about high relief. Look at that. That's going to be pretty cool. I'm definitely going to do that. Oh, here's the one that Rhonda got. That's the anvil she got. Or gavel, anvil. So it actually stands up. But I've only done a prototype and gave it to her because she helps me out a lot. Oh, the eagles. That's what I was trying to show you guys. So I've done some other eagles. I did a prototype of this recently. So if anybody's interested in number 1, let me know. This one as well. I did a prototype. And this one would be a number 1. And then this one. So it's like an eagle talon, but it's carved out. And has an actual eagle carved into an eagle talon. Pretty cool. What else? I have some Egyptian things I've never done. I haven't tried to pour these yet. That's a cool one I could try to do. But these are going to be heavy. I might have to try these in copper. I got a flash. I 3D printed that myself. I never did make a copy of it. I think it's a little bit small, but... Here's one I've been wanting to try to do, and I haven't been able to figure it out yet. I've tried it a few times. That's a cool one. It's just so thin. And the skull, I even tried to glue the back of this to fill it in, and I still haven't been able to pull it off. I could probably do it if I put it into the sand and then press it further down and then pop it out maybe. Like tape the back of it and try to pull it out without messing anything up. I might be able to pull that off. But I might cut this little piece off here because I don't know if anybody wants to wear it as a necklace. I think it'd be cooler as like a, just kind of like a big round almost kind of thing. I don't know. And then, sorry guys, I haven't checked the comments. I'll get there. I had this Harley one that I never did. I kind of wanted to do. Nice little thick boy there. The cassette tapes too. I really kind of wanted to try this, but I had to glue two of them together. And you can see they had a hole here. I tried to fill it in. But it's going to be hard to get these holes. Like the holes are going to end up filling in. Maybe not the big ones, but then I tried to do one a little bit bigger. But still, getting these holes, I don't know. I might have to try to just try it and see what happens. Here's one I did that I only did one of. This one actually kind of sat around for a while. It's a Marshall stack. It sat around for a while. It took me like 3 or 4 auctions to actually finally sell it, so I never did another one. Here's another guitar. That's one that I did. Flying V. And then we have this bass. I love guitars. I play guitar, so this one I tried to do, but man, I have not been able to get this one to work yet because the sand right here always pulls out. This one, I did a prototype. I still haven't done a number 1 yet. SGT picked this up from me. That's kind of a heavy one too. And this is another one that I did. Stormtrooper. So that'll be a number 1 if I do it. What about this? Does anybody like that? It's Batman, but without the mask. Like he's got this on, but his mask is off. And I think that is, what's his name? Crap. I can't think of his name now. One of the guys that played Batman. Well, here's what I made for 7. It was really thin, so I pressed it down and then pulled it out and just made a thicker one and did an open sand cast, and it worked out. And then I showed you the Stormtrooper. So, excuse me. So that was the original. This was like a little bit over an ounce. Then I reprinted it, and I don't know how heavy that's going to be, but that's probably 4 or 5 ounces. So I haven't tried it because it's just so big. Like it took a while to sell this one, so I was like, man, I don't want to waste a bunch of silver on this thing and then have it sit around. I can't afford to have anything sit around right now because I don't have. This is how much shot I have. Not much. But I do have some rounds and things like that I can melt. I got these little sugar skulls. I thought about trying to do this one day. I think I did try at one point. But it's very high relief. It's like a 3D looking thing. It's like 3 different pieces. And so this red comes through from the back one. And I don't know what happened when I tried it. I think I was trying to do it as an open sand cast. An open sand cast, whenever you pour them, they always, the details round off a little bit, and it just doesn't look as good when it's open. I guess with the air getting to it, it stays hot longer. I don't know, but I'd probably have to try to do this one, taking it in, like maybe cut this off and take it in from the top. But that's probably a ½ ounce. It's not very big. Sand cast for a ½ ounce. A lot of people don't want to buy them because they think, well, I'm only getting a ½ ounce. But it's the time involved in the sand cast, you know? So a ½ ounce might cost like $30-40 because it's a sand cast. And I'll have hours wrapped up in making it. But anyway, that's some of the pieces I got laying around and things that I can do. So if you saw anything that you're into, let me know and I'll try to have one for next Friday. Anyway, here we are. I'm back. Let me back up here. Harbor Freight, okay. Little pretty deers, that's pretty cool. Awesome property. I don't see shit in my backyard. Yeah, I'm really glad that, and lucky that the woods, my house backs up to the woods. Now I got neighbors on both sides really close. And my neighbor on this side has 3 little, what are they called? Bulldogs, I guess, or something. And they just sit and bark at everything all the time. It's so freaking aggravating. I can't stand those people. They're so inconsiderate. But anyway. Wayne, what's going on? The alien weighs 3 ounces. Somewhere right around there. I think it's a little bit over 3 ounces. Are you talking about this alien? The alien spawn? or the Geiger's alien. This one. I don't remember what this one weighs. See, this is another one too. Buffalo Bullion. This was his design that he made. And it says Buffalo Bullion on the back. So when I do it, the way that I make it is like I was saying on that Eagle. Instead of using a flask, one full flask, I can't use this part because it sticks out. I have to do two of them that are flat because I can stick it in on top of the piece. I'm trying to make this make sense. So I put the piece down, I put this on, I put sand in there, flip it over, pull it out, and then that's it. So what I do so that I don't get this, because I would have to leave this in here and then put sand on this other side. And if I do that, you're going to see all that. So what I do is I take another one, the other side of one more that doesn't have those pins on it, and I'll stick it down. So let's just act like that's this one. I'll put sand in here, get it off, and then it'll be flat. You see what I'm saying? And then I'll have to take both pieces. I don't have the pin, so it's not lined up perfect, so I got to be careful of, doing it the same. But I'll line them up together, and then I'll pour it. Like I'll put it, and then draw the sprue kind of out to it so that it goes down all the way for the whole thickness of it. And it works. I've done it a couple times. It's just tricky. It's a very hard one to do. But anyway, Southeast Stacker, what's going on? Appreciate you stopping in. We got 25 likes. That's awesome. Much appreciated. 7 stacks. Just got home. Sorry I'm late. It's all good. I appreciate you hanging out. Definitely, man, definitely appreciate you guys. The Gibson SG. Okay, I can try to do another one. I'll try to have one for Friday. So it's going to be next Friday. Next auction will be next Friday. I have to do it then. I can't do it any later than that. I really wanted to do it tomorrow, but I wish I had more things ready to go. It's been a rough couple months for me. But you know what? I'm still sober. I haven't had a drink in over 4 months now. And I feel pretty good about that. So I did quit smoking for a month on New Year's, but then I started smoking again. So I am smoking a couple cigarettes here and there. It was rough, man. I was like, man, that's my one vice for now. I'll quit it eventually. But at least that's the only vice I have, right? So doing a lot better, but I still struggle certain days. 7 stacks, you got a new design? Is that the same sticker from before? I feel like it looks a little bit different. It's very small, though. I can barely see it. It's pretty. Thanks. I'm not ignoring you. I was just trying to get through all that stuff. I'm sorry, guys. You know how I am. I do it all the time. To come back and catch up. CNK. CNK. A YouTube? CNK YouTube? I don't know if I'm saying that right. You need a smallish T3 tank vehicle? I mean, that would be cool. I don't have anything like that. Unless you have something and you want to send it to me, I can make a copy of it. It just depends. See, like a tank is more of like a 3D kind of thing. With something like that, the best way to pour it is not through sand casting. Because I have to get something from the front and back, top and bottom. That's why this is flat on one side. Now, this is kind of a little bit of a 3D thing, but the sand has to go this way and that way in the flask. Like this. So, I can file down that line that's there all the way around it. Same thing, stuff like this thing, because this edge right here is where the sand meets. Now, if you have a tank where that sand meets, first of all, on the side, you're not going to get those details. So the track and all that stuff, like you're not going to see it because I'm only going to be able to get it from the top and bottom. But there is another way that people do it. It's really expensive to get it done, but lost wax is what they do. And it's, instead of having like plastic like this, it's wax. And instead of using sand like I do with the flasks, and when I'm talking about sand, I don't know if you know exactly what I do, but this is Duff clay. That's what I use. And then everything goes in these type of flasks right here. So I got to be able to, I split this open and the piece goes in the middle. So I got to be able to get to it from both sides. If it's something that's 3D where you have like 4 sides that you need the details on, it's just too hard to do. But so what they do is like even bullets. I like to do bullets, but it's kind of hard to get the writing on the bottom because you're getting it from the top and bottom, which is the side, both sides, you know, if that makes any sense. I might not be explaining that perfect, but anyway, the lost wax method, instead of plastic, they do wax, and then they'll put it into a flask. It's not even a flask, it's like a round thing. And they put it in that, and they, even the wax and everything, like that's how they make the sprues. Everything is wax that they kind of melt together so that you get, like this is, when I say sprue, this is what I'm talking about. So this is where I poured it in. Now I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to fix all this flashing and clean it up. But they build it out of wax. And then what they do is they put it into a furnace and melt all of the wax out. So then you're left with just the design on the inside of this like cylinder. And on the inside of the cylinder, it's the stuff that they use is, it's like a plaster. And so once you melt that out, then you have just the opening for the piece. So, and it can be any kind of piece. It's, a lot of times they do statues and stuff like that way. And whenever you see these silver statues, if you go to J.M. Bullion, they got those silver statues. They're like $700. And it's for a reason, because it's not easy to do. And just the equipment to do it is expensive as hell. But yeah, then you melt that out. You kind of got to like suck the air out of it somehow. I think it's like some kind of suction thing that's going on. And it kind of, I think it shakes it maybe even. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure exactly all the process because I haven't done it. But then you pour the silver into it. And then you take it and just put it in like a bucket of water and just shake it until all that plaster turns into, you know, it kind of like falls out because it's plaster. When you add water to it, it just takes it away. But yeah, that's like a whole different process. But if it's like a bar looking thing or like a 3D looking kind of thing like that, then it's something I could probably do. I'll trade you for pure silver wire. I don't even know what that is. I don't really do trades or anything like that, man. Yeah, I thought that was you that picked up that Geiger alien. Double-sided hype. Yep, pretty much. The Watcher, what's going on? I appreciate you stopping in. Feel free to smash the like button and hit the subscribe button if you're so inclined. Hit the bell and you'll know when I put out videos. Whenever I have an auction, if you're into this sort of thing, silver and copper pours. Whenever I have an auction, I do a video, a preview video showing everybody what I'll have. And then I also have coins and other things like that I put up. But I'll show you what pours I have and all that. Sometimes, you know, whatever else I'm going to be putting up. And then I'll have an auction. But I tend to wait till the last minute to put those freaking videos out. But if you hit the bell, you'll know when I do. That's another reason why I want to kind of wait till next Thursday or next Friday. That way, at least Thursday, I can have the preview video out. And like I was saying before, this might be the last auction I have for a while. So if there's a piece that you want to get from me, try to pick it up next Friday. Because it's probably going to be, I'm not going to not do it anymore, but it's probably going to be a while before I have an auction. I'm not going to be able to pour as much. So unless I can do really good on this next auction and be able to buy some shot and keep it going, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But
so far it's been hard. So I'm probably going to be working full time here and just not having quite as much time to do the pouring. So I don't exactly know what this is. Jewelry, 3D printing. I think I answered you by now. You said perfect, so I think you know what's up. Yeah, investment. Yeah, investment casting. Lost wax, investment, same thing. Depends on who you talk to. Yeah, it's definitely not cheap. I mean, sand casts aren't cheap in general. I mean, I have been letting stuff go out cheap. I really can't keep doing what I was doing. Like $35 an ounce for sand casts. You guys were getting great deals, and that was when it was like $26 an ounce. So now it's like 30. What is it? $34? Did it even go up to 35 yet? I feel like it was pretty close to 35. Yeah, that's crazy. So for me to buy more shot, it's expensive, and a lot of people are charging $2 an ounce for sand casts. That's a lot of money, and I haven't even been charging half of that a lot of times. So it's the prices are going to be what they're going to be. But we'll see what happens. Sometimes nobody bids on certain things. It's kind of rare, but every now and again I do get passed on some things. So hopefully it doesn't happen Friday, but we'll see. So I made a box 7. Do you like that? Isn't that cool? A little box to put your silver in. You can put your pores in it. And I colored this with little color marker things. I thought this would kind of be something that one of the ladies that stopped by might like. I have another one that's got a skull on it, but it's not quite as big as this one. And this isn't huge, but the only thing is shipping is probably going to be expensive. But I don't know. Should I leave this wood color like in the background or try to paint it like black? I don't know. Oh, another thing. I made coin bags. I have this snakeskin leather, which I don't know what it's made out of. It might be like some kind of pleather. I don't know. It's kind of shiny. It's not like actual leather looks. But I was told it was snakeskin leather. That dude passed away. So I kind of got it from him after he passed. So I couldn't really talk to him about it. But anyway, I made these little coin bags. So that's one. And then this was another design. I was just trying to figure it out. So it's not perfect. But I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to try to make some more. And you just tie it off. But your little coin bags, I might make one bigger too. So I might put those up in the auction. There's actually a better way to do it where you kind of, like I was doing it, going in one side and then going back through the other side, going back through, you know how you sew, going back and forth, right? Well, what you're supposed to do, I think, is go through, and then take 2 of them and then go in the same spot. So I'm only going like this, kind of back and forth. And you're supposed to kind of do 2 at a time, so it's always crossing each other. It just is probably a little bit stronger too. Now, granted, these are strong. Like these won't break. The what I'm using is really thick. That was the other one. I got a couple downstairs too. But yeah, I got to get going and getting some more stuff done. I'm gonna be working. It's supposed to be nice this weekend, so I'm gonna be busting my butt all weekend, and next week trying to get as much done as I can. I was thinking I might try to. I like this Spartan helmet. It was 2 of them. I 3D printed these and then glued 2 of them together because it was kind of thin. I tried to do it once, and I think the sand was getting stuck in these, so I gotta maybe try it again, see what happens. And then this guy, I never did this one either. What's this called? Who knows? I forgot what these are called. Those heads on that island. And actually, I don't even think they're there anymore. I feel like I read something about that getting like burned, like it all got burned. Like, how does stone get burned anyway? Like, the people that we're talking about were saying it was like some nefarious kind of stuff going on. Like, somebody was shooting lasers down and burning it. So I don't know. It's kind of weird how stone would burn, but
there's these heads that are on this island, and people say that the body is actually down below the head, but you only see the head because, over time there was some kind of flood or something happened at some point, and all the sediment, kind of got to the neck. So all you really see is these heads, but supposedly there's whole bodies underneath of it. That's pretty cool. I forgot what that island's called though. Nice, but too small. Yeah, I hear you. It was just one of those things that you could color. But I do have some. I got some cigar boxes that I've never used that are really nice. I got one that has the acid CDs, acid cigars, and there's plastic in it because, like, it's like wavy plastic, so that the cigar would rest in that, plastic. And I was gonna rip it out, and then I thought, man, you know what? I should leave it in there because you can put 2 tubes in each one, and there's 10 of them, so I could put 20 tubes of quarters in that thing. And I was like, that would probably be a cool way to store silver quarters. That'd be a pretty good amount of money in there. That'd be a couple $1,000s. That's probably like $5,000 worth of quarters. That's another thing too. I got to go through all my quarters. I have a bunch of proof quarters that I got, and I got to go through those. I'm gonna put them into capsules. So if anybody's into proof quarters, I have quite a few. So I'll be going through those this week. I'm gonna try to make a video out of it, and then I might put some of those up in the auction. Easter Island, yeah, that's the word. Yeah, Easter Island. Like, I'm so bad right now with having melt. I'm thinking about these getting melted. I've already melted one, so I might end up melting these down, these quarter 5 ounces. So that's 10 ounces right there. And then I got some Eagles. I got 4 Eagles here, 2014. And then some rounds. And I got that shot. I got that sprue. Once I cut that off, I got this. This didn't turn out. That's the bad part of pouring. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Whenever you have really thin pieces, it's hard. I think I need to make this sprue hole, this part right here. That's where the silver goes in. I should have made this a little bit bigger, I think, to get it down in there faster before it solidifies. So this has to be melted too. So once I cut this off, I'll have all that, plus this whole thing, plus that shot, and then another 10 ounces, plus another probably 15 ounces. And I got some other rounds and stuff downstairs. So I might be melting all that stuff down to keep this thing going. But I just need to, I might order a kilo a shot. But I hate to put things on credit cards, and then I just, it's going to max my damn credit card out. I just don't know if I want to do all that. Looks good as it is to you? Yeah. I don't even remember what we were talking about now. I've been all over the place. My bad. Yeah, I got to cut them in half. That's exactly what I did. I made a video about it, but I didn't finish it, I don't think. Oh, no, I did. That's another video. I got a bunch of videos that I made in my phone, but I haven't sat down and tried to edit a bunch of stuff. I could probably post like 30 videos if I could just get to editing. So I'm going to be working on that too this week. And posting some more of the shorts of all the ones that I did sell, all the pours I've been selling. I got probably 6 or 7 more videos I need to post, shorts. So I'll be posting at least 1 or 2 tonight probably. Instagram, I need to get to all that. Really on Instagram, I just post the pictures, but I'm so far behind. I really got to catch up on that. But I've been posting on TikTok, Clapper, and Lemon 8 is this new app that I got.
I think I only have like 200 followers over there, but you know, you gotta start somewhere. We did hit 2,000 on YouTube. That's awesome. Thank you guys. I really appreciate everybody hanging out and the 25 likes. And I've gotten a few super chats over the past month or two, and I really appreciate you guys. It really does mean a lot to me. Getting to 2,000 is definitely a goal that I had, and we made it. So I really appreciate you guys. Much love and respect to each and every one of you. But it is 6:30. I guess I should probably get off here soon, huh? Damn, I've been going for like 3.5 hours. No, 210 minutes. We're going for 210 minutes. That's crazy. Gold. I'm also going to have gold for the first time next Friday in the auction. If you're into gold, it's not going to be cheap, but I'm going to pour some gold. I have 5 grams of gold. I'm probably just going to do some kind of bar or round because it's my first time even melting gold. But I bought 5 grams from Aiden's Jewelry, Coin and Jewelry, back when I bought like 100 ounces from them and for shot for silver. I was like, let me buy some gold. So I bought 5 grams of gold, but I still have yet to do that. So I'm going to pour that. That will be up for auction. I don't know what the price will be. I know gold just keeps rising and rising and rising. I don't know if it hit 3,000 yet, but we're pretty close. And I have a feeling that it's just going to keep going up. Silver too, for that matter. I think the days of the 20s are long gone. What do you guys think? You think we'll see $20 silver again? 20-something dollar silver again? And do you think gold will drop below 2,500 again? Usually when gold goes up fast, it will drop back down. But when it goes up slow and steady like it has been, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens with Fort Knox too. That might have something to do with what goes on. But if there's no gold in Fort Knox, it's not going to be 3,000. It's probably going to be 5,000. I can guarantee that. Time to watch the news. That was about the box lid. Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of like it like that too, because the rest of the box is a wood color. So I think it looks kind of good like that. But then I think, well, it's plain. So I don't know. It's kind of on the fence. Having it black would probably make everything pop more, but it might kind of make it look like it's too much going on. Yeah, long term, I mean, it's definitely been up over time. And nothing has really happened to like make it jump crazy. That's like during COVID, right? When COVID hit, what happened? Everything fell because they didn't think anybody was going to be buying anything. So it fell because nobody was really doing much. Then it went crazy high and then came back down again because it went up pretty fast. This slow and steady kind of thing, I think that's when things tend to just be that way. And it might drop a little bit, but if it's getting close to 35, I think it was 34 and some change yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, or the day before. I just don't know if we'll see it get below 30 again, which sucks because I wish it would drop back down to 28. I almost bought some shot when it was at 28, but I didn't do it because I would have had to really rush in order to pay my bills. So I didn't do it, but I've been kicking myself for not doing it ever since. But yeah. I think I had 6.5 ounces of gold. Right now, I have 5 grams. I have 5 grams plus I have 2 more grams, but it's not 24 karat. The 5 grams is 24 karat. And actually what I'll do is, if anybody does pick that up, I'm going to give you the bag that came in so you can see, that it was 24 karat gold. I would never do anything to get over on anybody anyway. But like I even have some other gold that I could add to it to make it bigger. But I think if I did that, it might make it like 20 karat or 22 karat. And I don't want to do that. So I want to make sure it's good. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I think she's home, so we're going to do the thing. And I appreciate you guys. My brother bought a monster box in 2020, but he held on to it. Should have sold it 6 months later. Yeah, that happened. A lot of people got stuck with things, for sure. Think about the people that bought when it was like $48 an ounce. They've been sitting in that for years. What's that, since the 80s? Hello, I'm about to get off here. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. Next Friday, we will definitely be having the auction. Other than that, I will talk to you guys at some point. I might go live before then. But if you get a chance, if you hit the bell, if you see me posting a video or short, stop by. Just drop a comment. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but it will help me out with the algorithm, and I would definitely appreciate it. But like I always say, I appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.